just so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, 'cause nobody made us, and no one can take this 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Oh, yeah.
There
it's
we are.
Thursday, man. We are here, and surprised we got Bundy in the house
Yeah, what's
today.
up, dude?
What is up? Yeah, you couldn't make it Tuesday. You were busy out of town. And,
Yes, sir.
So glad to see you, man. How's
Yeah,
it
yeah.
going? You had a big job out of town or something?
Oh, yeah, just getting ready. We finally got first day on payroll. I've told you about the new company.
Oh,
I'm partnering
yeah.
with. So just getting all those kinks worked out and getting some jobs started and, hitting
Really?
the ground running, yeah.
So, just so people know what he's talking about, because I do think it's an innovative idea. And, you know, I of course I do real estate, but because we do so many repairs, I work real closely with some contractors who do
Right.
repairs and house flips and things.
Yeah, sure.
And so the new company that Bundy's talking about, name of it, Summit Services, and they provide what I'd call the big three.
Yeah.
Plumbing,
Yep.
electrical, and HVAC
Yes,
under
sir.
one shingle.
Yes, sir.
Which
Yes,
is
sir.
really cool if you can get all that done with
Definitely.
one service, one source, because
Definitely.
it's so hard to find. I'll tell you what, finding good plumbers, good electricians, good HVAC techs, it's all difficult. It's very hit and miss.
Right,
you
and
know?
then sometimes you'll get some on the job, and the electrician's in the plumber's way, or the heat
Right.
and air guy, and they're kind of
They're stepping on each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it streamlines communication, streamlines
Exactly.
services.
Makes everything just smoother.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for anyway.
So how do they find out more if they want to use you?
Man, they can go to our website. It's going to be summitservice.co.
Okay.
and-
.co. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And we'll have a Facebook page and all that good stuff probably within the next week. So, yeah, just getting everything like that kind of worked out. And,
Well, that's pretty exciting.
yeah, I'm super stoked about it.
Yeah. Well, most of us, as I said yesterday, I didn't think that here in the immediate metropolitan area that we would see any severe tornado weather, and we did escape that, but Lake City did not. Just saw some video from the Rob father, who is a wrestler that works alongside Rich here and there, and sounds like that his entire area was. Man, the video looked pretty bleak. That was a big wedge tornado.
Oh, yeah.
Was that video in Lake City, Rich?
That one was from the one that hit Monette.
Monette, I got it.
I think it's
Yeah, I
the
think they're
same
all
one.
close,
I
yeah.
think it was the same one. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a big wedge, and it was that classic scary looking one.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you
it
see the
just
lightning
looks
flash, you
terrifying,
see it, and you're
dude.
just like, oh, God.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we were just talking about it because the house we're in now, we were like, if we really thought it was coming towards us, we'd go somewhere else.
Right.
Honestly, because we just don't have a safe enough place there
Right.
that I'd feel like, something like that hits me, I'm in trouble.
And, I talked to friends from out of town, and that's what they asked me. They said, man, the storm shelter business just must be booming down there. And I'm like, a lot of people don't have them, or a lot of
No,
people don't
it
have a
used to-
place to.
It used to be, it seems like, that everybody around here had one, but
Right.
over the past many years, you
New
don't see it as
construction
much.
hasn't
Yeah.
really taken that.
No, and you would think of all places we would be the shelter selling.
Yeah,
business
that
on
would
the
be
planet.
the capital of
Yeah,
storm
I mean,
shelters.
other than
business.
Oklahoma and Kansas, I
Right.
mean, we're right there, right?
Right.
Even worse, because I live in a trailer. So yesterday I had seen on Facebook or somewhere, like, text message this number, to FEMA, and it'll let you know where the closest, like, storm shelter is for you or whatever.
Right.
And so I did that because I don't know, I've only been
Right.
living out in
Yeah.
Jacksonville for a couple of months now. And anyways, it came back and said, we don't know of any within 200 miles of you.
Well, if you just drive 10 miles the opposite direction, you're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, just sit
I mean,
there.
you can see it, you can outrun it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dude, me and my wife were talking, and I was like, man, if I was in Little Rock, I'd go to Park Plaza.
That'd be a
it's
good
half
place to go.
underground,
Yeah, that'd be a good place.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
just thinking, because we've got my wife's mother and my mother-in-law. She lives in Benton now.
Yeah.
And just in a duplex, and we've got a storm shelter at the house. But we were just thinking, like, man, like, where? If you don't have a storm shelter there, where would you go? Where's the
I'd
first
go
place
to the
you'd
Legion Scaffolding
Yeah.
Studio.
Yeah.
This is full
I was
brick in
about to
here.
say,
man.
this room right here is pretty safe.
Yeah, this room right here is pretty damn good. I'd be fine with this room. All right, a little bit of news you can use. Measles outbreak that spread from Texas to New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, some other states, now up to over 500 cases. Members of a Mennonite church who are at the epicenter are also linked to a spike in Mexico. So these folks don't get vaccinations, and as a result, you know what happens. You know, look, I get, everybody's irk on vaccines, but look, the ones that work have worked for a long ass time.
Right.
I've never had a problem with them before.
Right.
You know, let them keep working. You know, I mean, I'm not worried that I'm going to get measles or my kids will, but, you know, a lot of people out there are vulnerable.
All right.
Finally, the Nintendo Switch is going to hit shelves June 5th. It's going to be $449. That's just the console. Well, the console and everything that comes with it. But while customers can purchase a $500 version that comes with Mario Kart World, the new device will be bigger, faster version of the original Switch. The controller is now called Joy-Cons, attached to the screen with magnets, and can work as a mouse when used on a table. So the Switch has sold 150 million units since 2017.
Wow.
That's quite a few.
That's insane.
Yeah. Police in Minnesota are on the lookout for a person who stole a life-size bull statue. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's impressive as hell. The 300-pound stainless steel structure taken from an Edna business called The District. The owner's offering a $2,500 reward for the bull's return. The reward will be $5,000 if someone ends up going to jail. Local scrap yards are on the lookout. Yeah, you know when someone brings that big-ass bull in, they're going to get caught.
Like I said, they're on the lookout.
Right.
That's like the first place is going to take it.
Right. A massive storm dropping a lot of rain across the Midwest and South already brought one tornado last night, as we talked about. Governor Sanders declared a state of emergency. National Weather Service says 2 large tornadoes hit the town of Selmer, Tennessee last night. 50 million people from Texas to Great Lakes under threat from high wind. Other tornadoes reported in Oklahoma, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee. What they're really worried about, though, are rain levels, they say, that haven't been seen in a long time. And they were handing out sandbags.
Yeah, dude, I heard that all day yesterday.
Yeah, they were free sandbags. And I'm like, really? Is that what's going on?
All right.
You know, and my question, I do feel, man, I don't want to be conspiratorial. Talked about it yesterday, but you know, this overseeding of rain clouds makes me nervous that this stuff is
Man, Arkansas's own Bryce Mitchell was on Instagram last night talking about it. You know, he just lives out in like Cabot.
The crazy one?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
MMA dude was a whack job?
Yeah, he was talking.
What was he talking about?
Just that the thunder he's hearing in Arkansas isn't natural. And
well, he
that it's
also
all,
thinks the Earth's flat, so
dude,
he gives a
he
shit.
thinks some wild shit.
No, that dude. Listen, I wouldn't want to fight him.
No,
But I
think
will.
he'd
But I
wrap
will
me up,
tell him that he's clowning out there.
Yeah,
You know, you're talking about silly shit, man.
Right. And really, you hate to see somebody just fall into. I mean, I love conspiracies, but when you just go all in and have no filter or no
and
judgment,
you're just standing on it 2 feet down.
yes,
It's
like, dude, chill.
come on,
bro,
man.
chill.
Leave some room for being wrong.
Come on, like,
You know, even Matthew would be like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
Bigfoot, I mean, you know,
Right.
You're going to leave some room for doubt, I guess. But all right, let's see what else is going on here. A teen tried to use a fake ID to board a flight, discovered a bad idea. Sebastian Green tried to get through TSA with a New Jersey license to board the flight, but was busted immediately. After cops got there, he admitted he bought it from another kid at school for $80 so he could get booze. What a dumbass. Allie Phillips, a mom on TikTok, shared a story about her daughter coming home from first grade with a new boyfriend and some bling. The little girl had got a boyfriend named Brandon since kindergarten, but a new boy, Trevor, approached her, asked her to be his girlfriend with an actual diamond ring. Thankfully, Phillips found Trevor's mom through social media and learned he swiped it with his great-grandma. He'll be getting it back today, I imagine. You know,
Trevor got that Riz.
Yeah, he was working on
He was
that.
stepping up the game, yeah.
Man, yeah.
Going in
Yeah, I mean, you can't be too mad at your grandma, right? Trump announced a series of tariffs on imported goods, marking a shift in U.S. trade policy. That's going to be 10% on almost all imports, higher rate for specific countries, 34% on Chinese goods, and That's going to apply to Temu, Shein, all those. 20% on the European Union, 25% on all foreign-made vehicles. He said it's reciprocal, aiming to match what he perceives an unfair trade practice by other nations. The reaction from the market was negative. Of course, look, there's going to be a temporary pain. You can bet on it. And that's just a shift that's going to be made because either these countries are going to break and they're going to drop their tariffs in favor of us lower, or we're going to start making it here, and you're going to buy American products cheaper than you're going to buy Temu. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it may be painful for a few months. Even.
Right.
Hopefully other things will ease some of that. The Supreme Court unanimously upheld the FDA decision to deny authorization for the sale of flavored e-cigarettes yesterday. Justice Alito, writing from the court, rejected claims from the manufacturers that the FDA had arbitrarily changed its approval requirements. The FDA has previously denied over 1 million flavored nicotine product applications, citing insufficient evidence of a net health benefit. The court supported that to limit it to only like tobacco and menthol flavor.
Right.
Now, I don't know, does that mean, does anybody know, does that mean that all flavors are going away, or does that mean they just won't issue it to new companies?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the latter because we've heard it before, and I still see flavored stuff.
Well, I know it was under appeal, and maybe that was why.
Maybe
So
that,
I'm not sure. Maybe somebody out there knows more, is in that vape community, and can tell us more about that. A U.S. ban on TikTok looms. Amazon submitted a last-minute bid to acquire it. Trump administration confirmed the Amazon offer was presented to Vice President Vance. Commerce Secretary Lutnick said the impending ban is set to take effect Saturday. That stems from, obviously, concerns over the Chinese ownership. He previously paused the ban to allow time for a sale and expects a deal by the deadline, though he may consider extending the pause. Yeah, I think he would. I think he's just trying to get a deal in place so we can have it instead of China, basically.
Hey, but even if it does go out, we've got the
got Clapper.
Yeah,
Right.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, Clapper is just, if you hadn't tried out Clapper, you should. It's less crowded, more interesting, and very similar to TikTok in a lot of ways. Yeah, we like Clapper.
And honestly, I hate to see like a company like TikTok that so many Americans use go away.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it makes me excited just for what
What else
are
are we going to do?
So
Because Facebook is still by far and away number one. Yeah, but it's different now than it once was.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think all of us can agree, if there's anything Facebook isn't, it's fun. It's useful, it's helpful, it's informative, but it ain't fun.
Remember that story that I saw earlier today on Facebook?
Which one?
Oh, this one about this TikToker woman that came out and said that she's swearing off that she's never going to talk to any white male again.
I want to talk about that later. Let's table that one, because that's a little more interesting conversation I want to lay out. For sure. I have a thought, or 10. Let's see. Yeah, right. Senate Republicans unveiled a budget blueprint designed to advance components of Trump's agenda. The proposal includes over $5 trillion in tax cuts over the next decade, aiming to make permanent the 2017 cuts and to implement additional ones like eliminating taxes on tips, overtime, Social Security income, which is good. Why should you have to pay taxes? Look, if you make it to a certain point, I don't think you should ever pay taxes again.
100%.
I don't know what that age is, 65, 70, maybe 70. You're just done with taxes. You paid in your share,
Yep.
Let's see. The plan also proposes raising the debt ceiling $5 trillion, increasing the debt $36 trillion. Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
The blueprint also outlines more than $2 trillion in non-defense spending cuts over the next 10 years and allocates $150 billion for military spending. Well, you do need that.
Yeah, can't have the military-industrial complex starving to death.
No, you got to feed those generals, baby.
Yeah.
Remember the asteroid everybody was worried about in February?
No.
It's 2024 R4.
Oh, okay.
It's the size of a football field. It was first detected in December. An initial assessment gave it a 3% chance of hitting Earth. Well, with further observation, they've reduced it to 2%.
No.
So I guess that's better. That's third less likely to hit us. So
Sure, I'll take it.
yeah, for sure. A 63-year-old woman rescued after surviving 91 hours under rubble from that earthquake in Myanmar. The quake caused widespread destruction, thousands of casualties, collapsed buildings. While rescue efforts continue, the woman's survivals provided a rare moment of hope in the ongoing disaster. I think 1,600 died so far. I mean, it was a massive earthquake, and there were a couple buildings that just collapsed. It was bad. Brazilian garbage collector Samuel dos Santos found a newborn baby left in a box near a dumpster during a recent night shift in Rio de Janeiro. First, he thought it was a doll. He and his partner rushed the baby to medical attention after realizing she was alive, the baby healthy. Grateful she was rescued, hopes she'll be adopted by a family soon. Well, yeah, you got to make sure to get them in the bin. You don't put them in the box in the bin.
It's a little too late.
Yeah. Canadian researchers have invented a color-changing stir stick called Spikeless. What is it for? Detecting drink spike drugs like GHB and ketamine within 30 seconds. So you put it in, you stir your drink, and it'll show up
And tell you
in a
whether
color if there's something
That's
in it.
what you needed in your
Yeah, that's what I need.
in your Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
That dude was trying to get you.
yeah, that's right. I did need that. Bad Wolves, a lot of band replacement going on. They just announced the departure of their guitarist Doc Coyle and their bassist Kyle Conkeal. Coyle, who had been with the band for 9 years, expressed the decision was amicable, but he was creatively burned out. He said he was proud of the accomplishments, all the things you say. Replacing them are returning guitarist Chris Kane and new bassist Kevin Kriegman. Kane had previously been part of the band. Also, Shannon Larkin and Tony Rumbolo, longtime drummer and guitarist for Godsmack, have departed the band.
Oh, okay.
That's big news, Shannon Larkin.
Yeah, man.
Larkin explained after extensive discussions with Sully and Robbie, they agreed to part ways due to Larkin and Rumbolo's desire to retire from touring. He said the decision was friendly. It's based on personal choices. They got enough money.
Yeah.
They don't want to be on the road anymore. And
They're
like,
older,
"Listen,
yeah.
I'm going to go enjoy life. Y'all keep rocking.
Yeah,
if
let's
that's
get the
what you wanna do."
royalties off what we got out
Yeah.
already. And
how are you going to be mad about that?
Yeah, come on.
You've worked for a long time to make that paper
Yeah.
and go enjoy it.
dude, speaking of musical success, you see Luke hit 4 million
Did he?
streams overall.
No, I
yesterday?
didn't. I was so
Yeah.
busy yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been knee deep in my Infinity
Yeah,
trying to
you were
replace a
telling me about
starter. And I finally got the manifold off yesterday, and now I'm to the starter. I've got one bolt I'm trying to get out.
One last bolt.
But I worked on it for an hour and a half, 2 hours last night trying to crack the bolt, but I just didn't have enough torque, so I got
Right.
to go get a longer wrench for that.
Man, that's never fun. I hate playing mechanic.
No, I
It's
don't.
one of my-
It's not what I wanted to do.
Right. No, you
but it
just-
was
yeah.
$1,000,
Yeah.
$500 for the part and
for
$500
a
labor
starter.
for a starter.
I mean, I feel like you used to get the starter and the work done for like $250
That's
or
right.
something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't, and it'd take them an hour.
So when they said 1,000, I was like, shit, And so this place over in North Little Rock, Armature Exchange, rebuilds them for $195, and I'm like,
yeah, that sounds
yeah,
better.
I'll do that. It'd take me a couple days, and it has, painfully, painfully a couple days.
Yeah.
I got, marks and scars.
Yeah.
You know how your knuckles get
Oh,
when you
yeah.
do real work on cars. A team of researchers from the Netherlands, Germany, and Sweden published a paper showing the results of a study that proves playing video games linked to a boost in intelligence, actually. Same study measured the impact of TV and social media. Those did not increase intelligence, by the way. But the researchers looked at records for almost 10,000 U.S. kids, 9 or 10. I do think that. I still do wonder, you see all these people, young people shooting these days, and they do it so casually, and I'm not blaming video games, but I'm saying I'm not sure as a society we haven't desensitized kids to that
Right.
a little bit.
Right.
Between movies, games, and everything,
Yeah, you've got to think to some extent it's at the very least desensitized.
Yeah.
Maybe not encouraged it, but at the
Right.
very least it's desensitized.
Yeah, I mean, seeing somebody, putting a bullet in someone doesn't seem so crazy if you see it all the time.
I mean, you've got. I hate to take it back to Grand Theft Auto because people have been complaining about that game
Yeah.
forever, and I love it. I've
Yeah.
always played the game, but Yeah, you can get on there and kill 100 people
Yeah,
if
you
you want
beat
to.
the hookers. You can do
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good times. Good wholesome fun. Controversial gesturing, they say, from Memphis Grizzlies star John Morant has once again. It's like if I was John Morant, I would never do anything but play ball.
Right.
You nearly got booted last time. You're too damn good to keep doing dumb shit.
Right.
But it caught the attention of the NBA during Tuesday evening's game between Grizzlies and Warriors. Morant could be seen using his hands and arms to mimic shooting a gun in the direction of the Warriors bench. League also taking a look at what appeared to be a similar gesture made by the Warriors guard. Okay, well, I take back what I said. If it's a finger gun, who gives a shit?
Come
man?
on,
Come on.
dude. Like,
it's
I feel like you're
desensitized.
kinda
I mean, I know we're
picking on
talking about desensitization in the same
He's been
breath,
playing too much Fortnite.
but a finger gun, that's what you're worried about?
Like, come on, dude.
Nobody ever died from a finger gun. Nobody ever even got injured from it. Saturday night's matchups between 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four will feature some of the best players college basketball has to offer. Top of that list, obviously, the number 1 NBA draft pick, barring an unforeseen circumstance, Cooper Flagg. Flagg aside, other players fans might want to watch out for. Over at Auburn, Chad Baker-Mazara, one of the best shooting guards. He's put in 44% of his attempts, which makes him a big distraction that helps Johnny Broome do his thing. If Flagg has competition for Player of the Year honors, it is Broome. He's a former SEC player. He averages, get this, 18.7 points, almost 11 boards, and 3 assists a game. Wow. That's solid production.
Hell yeah.
Walter Clayton Jr. out of Florida, man, that's a confident dude. He's very clutch in pressure situations, good leadership. He'll probably go next level. Jay Cryer out of Houston, 6-1, but his 3-point shooting is pretty impressive. He's 41%. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Con Nuppel from Duke. Is that right?
I don't know if that's right or not.
All right. When Flagg went down due to injury, he stepped up 21-point average, 6 boards, 5 assists a game. Elijah Martin out of Florida, he is a great trash talker. He gets in the heads of a lot of defensive players, and he's got a lot of Final Four experience with Florida Atlantic.
Better not bust out any finger guns.
No, don't do that. And then out in Houston, Milo Suzanne. The dude's got crazy basketball IQ. He's the ultimate do-everything player for them. That nose wipe gesture, it was banned by the NBA or NFL after all because of, quote, gang connections. Going into 25, they've made it known they're cracking down on unsportsmanlike behavior. So this nose wiping gesture, hard to feel anyone could feel threatened by this, but they say it has gang connotations. It's a sign of disrespect. Again, it's football. Do we remember that it's football? Guys are out there beating each other to death.
See, this is
worried.
why I watch wrestling instead of sports. Somebody does
Never
that,
had
they'll
that
just
problem.
be like, "Oh, I'll see you Sunday."
That's it. That's right. Now you're right. They probably play it 20 times.
Right.
UFC CEO Dana White being on the board of directors for Meta has resulted in something, a strategic partnership. White announced yesterday a multi-year partnership with Meta that will take fan engagement to the next level and be a game changer for UFC fans. It's their first technology partner. Meta will use all their platforms, which include Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and WhatsApp, to create and distribute exclusive content, starting with a new fighter ranking system that's already been created. Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You're a UFC fan, right?
Yeah. I was interested. That's the first, like, I've heard the ranking system. I was just interested, well, what exactly are they going to do, you know?
Yeah.
You already see clips of UFC on Facebook. What much
Right.
more will you get out of them than that? But I guess, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
see
I
what
mean,
they bring to the table.
it will be interesting. MMA continues to grow in popularity. Boxing, I guess, is a staple. It's always loved, but
Yeah.
MMA is much more exciting to me.
I think boxing is getting ready to make a comeback.
I don't disagree with that. You have to have champions that people get down with. Now,
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Carlos Nava, who came here.
Yeah.
Great fighter, humble guy, really nice, But I do think that boxing needs some of the flamboyancy of the MMA.
Yeah. You have to. When you compare the fighting styles, it's much more entertaining to watch MMA than boxing.
Well, sure.
I mean,
Well,
it just is. So
There's more
boxing
possibilities.
has to make up for that somehow. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you've almost got to put a WWE style promos to these guys that are fighting if you want it to be at the level.
Yeah.
If you're happy with what it's at now, then fine, because there are a lot of just fight fans that will watch it.
Well, sure, yeah.
But if you're trying to garner new audiences, you're gonna have to fill that gap. Because your
Pause.
fight's just not, pause. Because your fight's just not as entertaining as MMA. That's just
no,
what
I
it
mean
is,
that's just facts.
So we're saying boxing is like the WNBA of fighting
No,
sports.
no, that's not even close. No, boxing is.
Sounds like that's what y'all say.
No,
to me.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Boxing is well established and people do like it. The WNBA, the players don't even like it. I mean,
Dude, I read a crazy
Stat the other day that said the lowest paid NBA mascot makes more than the highest paid WNBA.
it's because they're more talented.
It's like, man, that's a hell of a stat,
Listen,
dude.
can I tell you something?
You don't know how long they have to go to school to learn to jump on those trampolines
Right.
just the right way. And
I watched, and I felt bad for her. God, I felt so bad for her. But you've seen slam dunk contest.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Apparently, the WNBA was trying to put one in, and God love her, this lady tried 3 times and couldn't even get the ball over the rim into the bucket. It was almost a layup, and she couldn't do it.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, this is the challenge. You
Right.
know, it's not that they're not. I joke about skill. Look, Caitlin Clark's super skilled.
Oh, yeah,
And if you
sure.
have, 20 of her, maybe people would
Exactly.
tune in more.
Exactly.
But even with her, it's not. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's just people don't
maybe
love
they need to
watching.
start doing, shooting gestures to the other team and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I will say it was fun watching Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese.
Angel Reese.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that had
It's a
me
good
watch.
matchup.
I watched more WNBA games that year than I ever have. So
Well,
I mean,
they did. That's what I'm saying. You need more talent. You
Right.
need more sizzle.
yeah,
there's
gotta
just-
invigorate it in some
Yeah.
other way than just the game itself.
Yeah, it's hard to just get excited about passing and shooting. I need
Right.
some crazy shit. I need dunks. I need wackadoo crazy passes.
Right.
I saw Luka Doncic hit a pass. They hit him on the side, and he behind the back down the baseline to the corner so fast. It was like,
Yeah,
this
dude,
dude's nuts.
That's
man.
the shit you love watching.
No, man, that's the nut stuff that they do. I saw Steph Curry throw one armed from outside the other end of the court and put it in the bucket.
Right.
Just being stupid. And I was like, that's
the
crazy.
matchup tonight, Lakers and Warriors.
Is it?
Yep.
That's a good
Yep.
matchup.
Oh,
But I if LeBron's healthy, I think the Lakers. Right now, my son thinks OKC and Cavaliers
Yeah.
go to the end. But
Cav-
I think the Lakers, I think they're positioned pretty well in this. They could make a real run.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's right because I was just watching something about somebody talking about it. Might have been somebody on ESPN, but they were talking about the Cavaliers. Really
Yeah,
having a
which
good
is
shot.
crazy to hear.
Yeah,
But I have to imagine they've always choked. So
yeah, right.
it's hard to escape a legacy of choking. Now, Oklahoma has Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that dude's a bucket for sure. He's a great player, great anchor for them. They have other good players too, for sure. All right, well let's do this real quick, and we'll be back. Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million in wrongful death, almost $1 million in medical malpractice, and in insurance dispute. These guys know what they're doing, but more importantly, he's not a figurehead of some kind. He's not just some person on a poster with a picture of a rig or a smile or his dog with him. This is a real guy you can text with, you can talk to, and who will take good care of you. He'll work with you personally to get what you deserve. Check out reedfirm.com, reedfirm.com, or give him a call, 777-7333. You know what, as a real estate agent, I've seen lots of homes get caught up in probate. That's when somebody dies and they don't have a will. And the next thing you know, siblings are arguing over houses, possessions, cars, things like that. That is a nightmare you don't want any part of. You're going to need some help. You need someone with experience. You need Riggin Law. Okay, RigginLaw.com. Kristen Riggin there and her team are amazing at guiding you through this process. Look, you want to get what's coming to you, but you don't want to have to fight with everybody to get it. Just get Kristen to do the work for you. Go to RigginLaw.com. When you have questions, you have concerns about an inheritance, about anything like that, Riggandlaw.com is the solution. Check them out.
Oh, it's nighttime. It's the right time. Feeling this groove. It's so sublime, yo. That's right. I got my girl in the caddy, 4-door in a 6-body trunk. Yeah, she call me daddy, cause I'm the righteous father of funk. We bouncing at the stoplight. Fenders moving to the beat. Everybody wanna get in right. It sure don't matter the street. Slow rolling in the roundabout. 2 wheels lifted and curving out. Purple paint popping under street lamps. Flexing so hard, I almost caught a real cramp. Sitting cloud wrapped in my crushed velour. Grab a Cuban out the humidor. That Haitian smoke is silky smooth, but it ain't got nothing on this funky groove. We bouncing at the stoplight. Fenders moving to the beat. Everybody wanna get in right. It sure don't matter the street. The Lexani chrome is shining so bright. Them catfish trying to get a bite. It might be the car that book 'em, but it's that groove that cook 'em. It's getting funky here tonight. Break it down all the way downtown. Riding this sleigh, you found the right beat today. We bouncing at the stoplight. Fenders moving to the beat. Everybody wanna get in right. It sure don't matter the street. Bass slapping, toes tapping, act like it didn't happen. Let's ride. Let's ride.
All right, we are back. We are back. So,
Back to your positions.
do what?
I said, everybody, back to your
That's
positions.
right. Back to position. Back to position. So, you were sharing a story earlier,
Yeah.
man, about a lady, and I said, "Hey, let's talk about that a little more. Let's tell me that about that again.
So
tell
here
us
was,
about that."
here was the article. It was on Facebook. I just happened to find it as I was scrolling through this morning. But it says, liberal TikToker makes a proclamation to no longer associate with white males.
All right. Now, does it have her name or anything?
Let me see here.
I'm just curious.
See if it does or not. No, I don't think I
Okay.
have a name. Yeah, it just
Okay.
says it says from her TikTok video she posted, it's March 31st, 2025. I'm a 58-year-old adult human female. I'm formally making my proclamation. Right now to you, I will no longer be associated with any white males of any kind. It does not matter if liberal or conservative. It does not matter what color hair or eyes. As long as the skin is white and it is a male, I will not be associated with them anymore.
Is that right? Now, here's the thing: is
And
that
here's her picture.
Get a picture, yeah.
that sounds all great, but spin that around, blow that up as much as you can so people can see that.
All right, let's see.
Because I don't know if you can.
I was going to say how to do this.
But it's all right.
Take
Just-
our word for it. I don't think it
well,
was her
turn it
choice.
around
And we can zoom in. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Let me bring it up here. Man, you got me doing too much stuff this morning.
we should have thrown this up on the screen.
We should have. I should have put it in there.
Yeah, that's all right though.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
We're on top of things. As well.
Right.
Yeah.
Should have had that cup of coffee. All right, there you go. See if you can zoom in on that.
Yeah. You see that right there, people? You zoom in on it, people. So here's the deal. She's got a big bull ring in her nose. She's got the short hair. She's wearing the uniform of the stud. Okay. So let me say, this proclamation is a load of shit. Let me tell you what she's really doing. She don't even like men to begin with. Okay. She never liked men. This proclamation isn't anything other than running the competition off. That's all she's trying to do is scare away the competition. Yeah, no, there's no reality to that. Don't lump me in with every white dude out there.
Right.
You think I'm every white dude in the world? Come on, man. Some of us have sense.
Yeah, and I mean, isn't that the opposite? They don't want to be stereotypical, right?
Well, you're not supposed to. Yeah.
Stereotyped us all.
Yeah, no, they stereotyped all of us into being that clown, that Kyle that shows up and does dumb shit.
Yeah,
you know?
and I
It's
hate
like
to-
every white chick being a Karen. It's not a fact. I mean,
Right.
trust me, most all of them that are Karens are white chicks, but not every white chick's a Karen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But yeah, I don't want to be ugly, but I don't know how many white males were trying to
No,
chase
there
her down.
were she had 0 suitors in any male form. Any guy that saw her recognized the uniform and said, "No, that's cool. I salute you. Go on." You know.
Yeah, my proclamation. I'm writing off 10 out of 10 supermodels.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Other than my love.
I'm writing off all supermodels. Yeah. Because I had to fight them off yesterday.
She's probably getting more messages from white males now in her inbox than she's ever had in her life.
Well, she never had any before.
That's what I'm saying. Now they're all hating, you know?
Yeah, no.
hell are you thinking?
Trust me, she'll end up with a white chick who identifies as a white dude. That's how that'll end. She's like, well, I meant real, you know. I mean, I. That's how that's gonna work out right there. Maybe you're.
Oh man.
Maybe you're thinking about going on vacation and you want to take your kids to an amusement park, right? So this report puts out the top 5 amusement parks, the most beloved in the United States. And guess who did not make the list?
Uh-oh. Who?
Disney.
Really?
Disney did not make the
You know
list.
what?
I mean, I was
Not a
going to say that,
surprise.
but I thought, no way.
No, not a surprise
Not
to
a
you?
surprise.
Why is that?
It's so freaking expensive
That's
to
exactly
go.
right. Yeah, you can't go now, I think, for under $100 a person for one day.
Look, if I have to
One day.
finance my vacation for the next 20 to 30 years, I'm good.
They offer financing on those vacations.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, no, they do.
Guarantee it.
They do.
You know, it's not so much the price that gets me. Like, I'll overpay for a bunch of shit. But I've just heard the experience now is just horrible. There's not, like, I know it sounds weird, but there's not, like, a lot of places just to sit. Like,
Right.
you're more or less standing in the sun
And you
all
stand
day.
in
look,
line.
you stand in line overwhelmingly way more than you ride
Right.
anything. And if you get the fast pass, you're going to pay exponentially more to do that, you know, and get through.
Well, and I've heard that now there's like tiers to the fast pass. Like there's
Really?
the fast pass you get doesn't exactly.
It's not even the fast pass.
No, it doesn't get you like the
So you
top
need the
tier.
VIP fast pass
Yeah.
to even move through
And
it.
I literally think that's what it is. It's like the VIP.
Yeah.
It's like what, you know, rich people or celebrities or
Right,
whatever use
right.
whenever they go there, where it's like,
Yeah.
no, we get to ride this ride like by ourselves.
No, that's
Like,
great.
There's nobody else.
Go ahead and
here.
put it out of reach for regular people. It's
Yeah.
smart. No,
If I wanted to be bored all day just standing in line and forking over money, I would have just came with you to the DMV.
That's
the other
right.
day.
You just come to the DMV and you can get that right out of the way. A new study released, research by Nui Casinos, examined Google and TripAdvisor reviews made by theme park visitors to determine which ones receive 5 stars across the board. Florida remains the state where visitors do have the most thrills. Discovery Cove received a perfect 5-star rating from over 85% of guests.
Wow.
Interesting.
I've never even heard,
never heard of
of Discovery Cove, so this is cool. It's in Orlando. Discovery Cove is an exclusive resort. It's home to several marine attractions. It's the sister park of SeaWorld Orlando and Aquatica Orlando. Next on the list is Noble's Amusement Resort in Pennsylvania.
Never heard of it.
It has almost the same amount of positive reviews, 4.8 out of 5 stars. Heading down south, Tennessee's Smoky Mountain Alpine Coaster has thousands of people raving about it, making it come in third. It's home to the second longest downhill track in the U.S. It takes 7 to 8 minutes to ride it.
Wow.
That is a long-ass coaster when you think about it. 7, 8
Hell yeah.
minutes.
Right.
That's like 2.5 songs right
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's
That's
like,
a
what's the
long run.
average? Usually like a couple
Probably
minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. If the parks on this list sounded unfamiliar up to this point, you're most likely going to recognize the one with the 4th place title, University Islands of Adventure in Florida. Universal Islands of Adventure, known for movie-themed attractions like Jurassic Park and Harry Potter. So you go to Harry Potter World, you go to Jurassic Park. Rounding out the top 5, Disney California Adventure. The difference, it's not Disneyland, they're in the same state, but California Adventure has more attractions geared toward adults versus Disneyland, which people go to for classic Disney fun, right? Didn't make the top 10 list, but New Jersey did appear on it several times for Six Flags, Great Adventure, Jenkinson's Boardwalk, Maury's Piers, and Nickelodeon Universe. Yeah.
I'm surprised Cedar Point didn't make it on there, man.
Which one? Cedar Point?
Yeah.
Cedar Point is a big one. I think
Dude, and
they're
they had
redoing
like
some of it.
record-breaking coasters and up there.
Yeah, no, they have the most coasters, I think, of almost any park out there.
Have y'all heard about that new theme park that they're building out in Oklahoma?
Oklahoma?
Yeah, called like America's Heartland. Or
Yeah,
something.
it's supposed to
Oh, I thought
compete
that
with
was
Disney.
here.
No, it's in Oklahoma.
I thought, what are they doing with the old dog patch place here?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Are they doing something with it?
Yeah, because I thought like the owner of like Bass Pro or somebody had bought it,
May have.
and they were gonna make it into like a Dixieland or a Heartland.
Right. Well, you know, whatever happened to, they mowed down Wild River Country, and they were supposed to be putting a big thing there,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, I don't see anything happening.
No, I don't see anything happening there. I
don't
heard through the grapevine that it was going to be like a Top Golf-esque place.
Yeah, well, they were going to have all kinds of like maybe go-karts, golf,
Mm-hmm.
all these different things, entertainment. And I want to say it was a dentist out of Conway that bought it
really?
or something. But I haven't seen anything
No,
going
there
on
hasn't
over
been.
there. It's just flat.
They decided with all these tornadoes, Mother Nature is just giving a free ride.
it could be
no need for a coaster.
Could be the economy, but it could also be material cost. I mean,
Yeah.
material costs are super high right now.
Yeah.
So if it has eaten into the ability to profit, but that is a big ass space sitting over there. doing
Yeah,
nothing.
dude.
And I mean a prime space too.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, people from Conway, Mayflower, Maumelle, we don't really have anything on this side of the river. We've got to go into
You got the peppermint hippo.
Yeah, the peppermint hippo
real?
there.
Do you like to ride those rides?
Yeah.
Brandon said nobody's ever died at Disney. They wait to pronounce people dead until after they're off the property.
That may be true.
I wonder if that's serious. Yeah.
Yeah, they could be true. I
Smart,
have no
smart
idea.
marketing.
That's great. Do you ride roller coasters, man?
I mean, I will, sure. I haven't been on one in a while, but I will say I have gotten more leery the older I've gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's not, I don't ever feel leery until I get on one. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I just don't trust that guy with the cigarette.
Yeah.
And I'm real, mechanical. So
Right.
I'm looking at all the screws and just everything. And
You're thinking about all the
I
construction.
evaluate it too much.
Yeah,
I just
you
think about
overthink it.
Yes,
I got
exactly.
you. I got you. What about you, man?
Yeah, no, sign me up, man. I'm ready.
You're ready to
Let's
ride.
go.
Yeah, that's how Laura is. Laura wants to be in the front car of every damn roller
Oh,
coaster.
I don't want to be crazy. I
No,
just
she
wanna have
does.
some fun.
She does. Yeah, and I'm like, man, sometimes I'll ride them with her, and sometimes I'm like, I'll let Tyler go on that one. Yeah, no, coasters normally I like fine.
Yeah.
But when I got older, some things have changed physiologically for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you why, because when I was a kid, the Gravitron at the state
Oh,
fair,
yeah. Oh,
that's the one that pins you to
Yeah,
the wall.
yeah.
That was always my favorite to go do.
That was
because,
like a childhood core memory for us.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You try to move, you're in there, it's like a rave in reverse, But the last time I did it, as soon as I got off, me and my son, yes, I was like, where did that even come from? I didn't even see that coming, man. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Tasha? How
We
you
did
doing
have some
out there?
comments, man. Yeah, Tasha, I did want to throw out a shout out to her. She said
Yeah,
she's
shout
gonna
out to
be
your daughter.
in and out. Her daughter's having surgery today, so I hope everything goes well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You had a little doggy, of course, Brandon. Brandon Jack said morning. They were just in here yesterday. So.
Yes. Good morning, Brandon. Yeah, no, we had a great interview yesterday with Acasa. They have a big event coming up. It's a wellness festival, but a lot of it pertains to overcoming sexual abuse. And we had a really great conversation yesterday about all the work they're doing in the community. They're very, very good people. We had Lacey and Sydney and Brandon in here talking about it. And so they've got a big poker run they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
With the Punishers. And then they've got their big event, and it's all kind of coming together to raise awareness and money for
good
that.
shit. Good
shit. Very good, very good. It was a great opportunity to talk to them yesterday. I'm so thankful they came in, and I've certainly asked them to come back and tell us about future events because it is important.
And also a big shout out or good morning to Chris Steiner and Sharon Bauman. They're watching on Facebook.
All right. What up? What up? I saw Jesse. Said he missed us on the radio. Well, we're here. You don't have to miss us. You're here now. You don't have to ever miss it. You know.
I got some friends up in Michigan watching too. So
Oh, really?
Nice.
What's up,
Well,
Melinda?
thank you,
How
man.
doing?
We appreciate
Oh,
that.
They messaged me last night. They were like, "Hey, I heard you're getting hit by tornadoes. Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm great, but hey, go to YouTube and subscribe to Patrick and the People. You
That's
can catch
right.
me there."
That's right. That's exactly right. That's good times. Yeah. No, I'm fine. Can you go over here though?
Right.
That'll really help us out to stop these tornadoes. Just like Patrick and the People on YouTube.
Speaking about helping out,
Yeah.
I know that we are right on the cusp of you heading off to the Blox, right?
Yes.
How's everything shaping up for that, man?
Man, it's all coming together. We do need, you'll see there on the bottom right of the stream, there's a click you can link through and help us. We've got a fundraiser for it. We're just a few $100s in need. We're going to be bouncing out of here the 1st of May, I believe, for this
Coming
show.
up quick.
Yeah, it's coming up very fast. So if you can help us out with just a few dollars, helping to cover our expenses while there, hotel, food, all the fuel, everything that we need to do it. It's a big opportunity for us and the show to work with Wes, who is the host, and Wes is famous from the challenge.
Okay.
Everybody knows him. He's the redhead guy on the challenge. His character is over the top, arrogant.
No, that's super dope, man.
Yeah.
Y'all get to go do that, man. I'm excited for y'all.
It's a big opportunity to rub elbows with people who are
network.
entrepreneurs and who can help us to achieve the goal faster, better, smarter.
Right. Give you a little insight that you might not get being in the thick of it.
I'm sure hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to, not only go down there and be entertaining for the TV, but to actually learn something that's going to make us better and make this a better program and for everybody. So if you want to help us out, you want to help the program, man, I can't impress upon you enough. We really do need a little bit of assistance with this because every bit we do earn here keeps us going.
Yeah.
We just don't have some kind of fat budget of big ducats coming in. It's not iHeart in this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not running 7 minutes of commercials every time
Right,
I get done
right.
talking like iHeart does. We have a handful of things we talk about, 4 or 5, and that's it. So we really could use some assistance on that, and we're thankful to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Very thankful. We're talking about going to theme parks and stuff. Do you even still like going to a theme park? Do you want to go to theme parks?
Honestly, if I was invited by somebody, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not going to go out of my way. Just me and Jamie go to one.
Right.
There's just better ways I'd like to spend my day. Probably.
Yeah, you've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Set his grass on fire with a flamethrower.
Yeah, right.
That's what Bundy
Do
likes to
you
do.
still go to the state fair?
Yeah, sure. We'll go every couple of years. We don't go every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to walk around.
Mainly to get the food and
turkey
play some
leg or
games or something.
Yeah.
And
That's where I get scared of the rides at.
at the fair?
At the
Yeah, I
local
will say I don't
fairs,
ride
like,
any
I'm
rides
not
at the
getting
fair.
on the Ferris
That's
wheel
the-
and the
that's
zip
the-
line, and no.
That's the rule that I kind of have with my wife. Like, if it's a big place like Disneyland, somebody that can sign a check real quick,
Right.
yeah, we'll ride the rides. But the state fair or the county fair, like, no,
Well,
I'm not getting on those.
Those rides, they move them from place to place, so it is
Yeah,
different than
yeah.
one that's always
Put
in
them up,
place.
take them down. And
Yeah.
dude, when we were kids, they would ask kids at the fair, "Hey, you want to make $10?
Help
Help
it
us
out."
tear down."
Right.
Right.
And it's just
See,
like,
I can't even, take apart things on a car and have the same parts left over each time.
Right.
So I don't even know how they do that. I guess they're focused.
dude, this is when me and Jamie first got together. But we went to the county fair in Faulkner County, and there was like a very swindly vibe to the whole thing. It was like they asked, you know, like I'd lost a game. I'd paid a couple bucks for it.
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, hey, are you 18?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, you know, this would be considered gambling, so I have to ask you that. But if you know, it was like, however it was, if you paid more and you made the bucket or whatever the hell I was trying to do,
Yeah.
then you'd make all your money back."
Oh, I see.
Dude, this dude swindled me out of like a couple $100.
Really?
And I mean, I was maybe 22 or something. And
Oh,
just walked
no.
away like, what
Oh
just
my
happened?
God, that's terrible.
What just happened? He gave me this
I guess you learned.
big ass stuffed animal, and dude, I kept that thing for about 5 years. 'Cause I'm not throwing it away. I
No,
spent
it cost
200
$200 on that
Yeah.
bitch. Yeah, I
Like,
can hold on to it. No, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does happen. You know, where you learn when you're young
Yeah.
that people will sucker you into things.
Corny just got one.
It's
over
like
on
trying
me,
to
dude.
shoot those basketballs. If you ever go around to the side,
Mm.
you can see that the goal is dented in a little bit.
Right.
You know, so it can only drop in. You
Right.
know what I mean? You're,
Yeah.
It's a
Or
much
the rim
tighter
is like
shot.
extra thick. Yeah.
Well, and the ball that they'll show you that they make it with is smaller than the ball they're going
right.
to give to
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tricks of the trade.
Yeah. So earlier you were talking about the lady who made the proclamation that she was no longer going to affiliate with any white dude.
Yeah. To which we all said thank you.
Yeah. To which nobody asked you to affiliate with us. To be honest
We
with
were
you,
like, okay, life goes on.
we knew who you were.
Yeah.
But let's go down a little different path here. Troy Casey has been receiving a steady stream of press for his unorthodox wellness regimen, which includes the daily practice of drinking his own pee.
Ew.
Yeah, he's a former model.
What?
The author of Ripped at 50, A Journey to Self-Love. He's been drinking his own urine for years. He regards it as a diagnostic tool. He said, I think it teaches you inside a little more about yourself. Do you? Do you?
Yeah, you've been eating too much asparagus. That's
He
what it's
says,
going to teach you.
yeah, urine has stem cells, amino acids, and antibodies. It's the hair of the dog, a direct biofeedback loop. You know what's wrong with you as soon as you drink your morning pee. Yeah, you're drinking your morning pee.
Yeah, that's what's
why
wrong
you
with
know what's wrong. It tastes terrible. What's wrong with you, man?
I'm all for some health fads.
You said it tastes terrible. Is this something you've done before?
No, but I would imagine it does. I don't have to know. You know, I never had a turd sandwich, but I'm pretty sure it don't taste good. Casey was introduced to urine therapy by a breathwork coach after an unsuccessful round of chemo, claims to have healed himself of testicular cancer with it. Akin to fasting, urine looping is the practice of drinking your own urine and supplemental water for a period of time.
Oh, my God.
That's right. That's right.
No.
Not only that, not only does he drink it, but he likes to go both directions with it. And he also does urine enemas as well.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Jesus.
What?
Oh, man.
Now, Casey opts to drink. Here's your number one tip if you want to be a urine drinker. And I know a lot of you are thinking about this right
Get
now.
your
going,
notepads out now.
Yeah, I probably do. Go ahead and screen record this, would you?
Right.
Casey opts to drink what he calls the middle pee. So he empties the first splash of his AM stream and then portions some of it into a cup. And then the second one, that's where it has all the stem cells, he says.
I can't deal with this dude.
Yeah, no.
Oh, look at him chugging that jug.
No, man, it
Jesus
looks like a
Christ.
jug of sweet tea that
Oh,
he's
my
working
God.
down right here, man. And he's,
Dude, I'm gonna tell my wife to implement that into your
see how that
training
works.
regimen.
See how that works. See how quick I hang up on her.
Dude, I haven't even talked to her about that. How's that?
You know, it's
how's that
going
been
great. If you don't know, Jamie came in, Jamie Bundy. She came in last week, and we did an analysis. Basically, she got all the metrics and everything. I told her my goals. She set me a plan. This is day 4 of that plan. Day 1 went amazing. I'm supposed to be under 2,100 calories. I was at 1,250 that day, which was great.
Yeah.
The next 2 days, I was still under by 300, 400, 500. Yesterday, I might have pushed it and hit that 2,000.
Yeah.
But it's been good so far, and I'm trying to get my steps in. Yesterday was a little trickier with the weather and everything.
Oh, right.
But I'm doing. Yeah, it's great so
Yeah.
far.
Have you found? I know she gave you a bunch of food suggestions.
She
Have you
did.
found stuff that's worked for you?
Yeah, I've gone to the grocery store once. I'm getting ready to go back. You know, I've always been just throwing a chicken patty.
Yeah.
Make a quick
Yeah.
chicken Sammy, which is still low cal and good, but I wanted something better, so now I'm doing grilled chicken,
Nice.
actual chicken that's grilled and not loaded up with everything.
Right.
And using that. And I'm trying to the best of my ability to eliminate as much bread and sugar. Sugar actually is easier than bread to eliminate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, the carbs is hard.
Well, man, it's the carbs with the protein put
Right.
together. It's the bread and the meat that make that sandwich what it is and
Right.
so good. You know,
right.
So
Yeah, you eat the meat by itself. It's not
it's
really
not
the
as
same.
good,
Yep.
you know. And so I'm having to work around
Yep.
my own little paradigm. there,
Right,
you know.
right.
Have you tried like tortillas at all?
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Tortillas are fine. They're just not the same.
Because like that's a snack that I like in the I'll go get a couple of those rotisserie chickens from
Yeah.
Walmart.
Oh yeah.
and make
And
a
like,
wrap.
well, yeah, I'll shred it all off the bone and everything, and then I'll just put, hold on to it or whatever, but I'll put it in a wrap and put some like Caesar dressing on it.
Yeah.
And just do like a chicken Caesar wrap in the middle of the day for a lunch snack.
You can buy those little rotisserie chickens for what, $4, $6?
Yeah,
bucks?
Yeah.
$4 or $5. It's
Yeah,
a cheap.
and I mean that'll make lunch for a week.
Oh
probably,
yeah, at least.
You know,
Something to
if
check
you
out,
take
yeah.
it off, take the meat off there.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. Yeah, drinking pee. Not gonna do it ever. Not doing
Dude,
that.
that.
I was trying to divert.
I mean, I've
from that
seen
story
Bear
as
Grylls
much as-
do it.
Well, yeah,
but-
you had to, but that guy.
But that's
just
a survival
willingly-
thing.
and it's just too into it. I'm drinking the middle pee. It's just too much. Like
Yeah.
it's too much. I can't do it. I bet he is a nightmare to have a conversation with.
Dude,
I'm
watch
gonna
that
tell you what he
movie
is.
Underworld
He's a
too many
bad
times.
breath having bitch.
For sure.
I mean, who wants to make out with that dude? Probably he doesn't have a dating life, I'm betting. Unless you can find a chick who wants to drink pee too. And then I have to ask, do you drink each other's or still your
Oh
own?
man.
Hey, maybe we should hook him up with,
R. Kelly?
don't know the proclamation lady.
Chuck
Oh, the
Berry.
proclamation lady?
Yeah, there you go.
I get the feeling she wouldn't drink his white pee. His pee is way too white for her. You know, it's just going to have to be a little different. Yeah, that's insanity.
That's too much, man. It's too
But
much.
this is the power of the internet that you have. Years ago, these people, you only hear from them if they yell out of the back of a squad car
Right.
or in a courtroom. Now they got a channel where they're promoting their urine diet, the pee diet.
All right.
Yeah.
Just wait till you hear about that one coming out,
Oh man,
gaining popularity.
it's
You're
ridiculous.
just self-recycling all day, dude. It's just
You
crazy.
know, the last time that I ever remember hearing anything about anybody drink their own pee was that movie. What was it? Underworld or something? Not Underworld. Oh gosh, I got to think of it now.
Golden Shower 6.
No,
What movies are you watching over there?
It was
Yeah.
a legit movie where like the dude was stranded out.
Please
on a
rain
boat.
on my parade. Castaway.
No, it wasn't Castaway. It
He's
was
on a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
It was
if
like
you
a
were
raft or something.
Yeah,
It
if
was
you're
like the end of the world,
okay. Well, yeah, that's a different. That's not a Tuesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the end of the world. You might drink pee because you're going to die otherwise.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be near death. Even on the Wheel of Pain, I wouldn't do that.
And I'm not sure. I mean, is that guy like scientifically backed? Like, you
No.
know what I mean? Like,
FDA.
I'm going to tell you what. If you find a doctor,
Waterworld,
if you
that
find a doctor, Waterworld. Oh, with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Waterworld.
I've literally never watched that.
dude, I love Waterworld.
Do you
That's a
really?
Classic Costner.
It was so panned. It bombed so hard at
Yeah.
the box office.
Yeah, granted, I probably didn't see it till like 5 or 10
But
years
you like
ago.
it?
But yeah, love the old schoolness. Just the
Really?
90s
Is it kind of
vibe.
Mad Max-ish?
Yeah, very Mad Max on the water. That's
Okay,
exactly
that's
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
And Kevin Costner's leading it. Like,
Yeah. A lot of people like Costner.
Yeah.
You know, he's I guess a believable actor.
Yeah, I did Costner. I know people love Yellowstone. I wasn't just a huge fan of the Yellowstone
Yeah.
stuff.
No. Well, you go up there really.
Yeah, right.
So
And
it's like, yeah, nah.
everybody up there too just thinks the show's hilarious. They
They
all
think it's
watch
funny.
it, but as like a comedy. Yeah,
Yeah, really?
They think
Why
it's hilarious.
is that? What's
Just some of the misconceptions, and they kind of misrepresent a lot of the terrain up there. Like there's a whole saga in the story is built around wolves coming out of the park and
Right.
and killing. And that is complaints that people up there do really have, but there is no farmland really that borders the Yellowstone Park.
Okay.
At least the part that the wolves are in.
Right.
Like, you know, so just little shit like that you
Yeah.
don't really know unless you live there. And we're like,
So they just come out of the national forest is where they come out of,
yeah,
right?
yeah, right. Well, and the Yellowstone National Park. They've
Yeah.
got a den specifically in a certain section of the park.
Okay.
And
And it's probably a pretty big den.
huge, like,
Yeah.
you know, huge. They've got so many miles, and they would literally have to traverse 10,000-foot mountains and go back down to get to the closest cattle ranch.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know, a lot of stuff like that. That's like, if you live there, you just can't really take the show serious. It's
I got
like,
you.
know, yeah.
You know, it's always interesting to find things like that out, or you watch movies and then you find out after the fact, yeah, there's no
Right.
way physics would allow that
Right.
to happen, or that doesn't have science behind it.
Something else they have in, and this might be real out there, but they have like a livestock agency where these guys are like suited up in bulletproof vests and they're like policemen for livestock, and that's on the show. I've never seen the first one out there in Montana ever.
A policeman for livestock,
yeah, that's
like
what-
cow on cow crime, or what?
It's convoluted. It's
Illegal
like,
milking?
Call Moo 11.
Yeah, right.
I essentially say, which I love The Sopranos, but it's The Sopranos except on a ranch. They make it too gang affiliated, where it's just like, dude, this is a farmer with some cows. I don't think it's that serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they sure make it that way.
Yeah, Sopranos is one of the greatest, if
dude.
not the greatest of all time.
Love Sopranos.
Man, I know everybody talks about the ending, but I always say, listen, tell me a show you like the ending of.
Right.
Right.
And
Nobody
really,
wants their show to end.
retrospectively, I think the ending was perfect.
I like it
How
myself.
else are you gonna do it? You gonna kill Tony, or you gonna?
I'm not killing Tony.
Exactly. So
I don't
what
even
are you
like the
gonna
show Kill
do?
Tony, much less to
Yeah.
kill Tony Soprano.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you know, you got to wrap it up somehow.
No, you do. And they tried to do it in a way that was left you kind of, you make your own call here, you know, but
Exactly. It was open ended.
But they, you know, that show really turned things on its end because it made you love someone you know
Yeah, as a bad
is
guy.
a villain.
Yep.
You know, so to speak. But it's just brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Brilliantly done. So is Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I love Breaking.
Oz is another great one if you've never seen
Man,
that.
I need to go back. Like, that was one that my parents watched growing
Yeah.
up, and so I caught bits and pieces of it. But I need to go back. and
Man,
watch
that
it all
is
the way
one of
through.
the most gritty, brutal, amazing shows you'll ever watch.
Yeah,
It's
much like The Sopranos, it was kind of the start of this,
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, really buying into a whole storyline of a show and keeping up with it like
yeah,
that.
it really was.
Besides, like a 30-minute Full House sitcom type
Right.
thing, you know
right.
what I mean?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Well, they did. I'll tell you what. I've been watching White Lotus.
How is that, dude? We've been thinking
Man,
about picking it
listen.
up.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. It's brilliant. It's the tension in it, man, is insanity.
Yeah.
They do a great job with they build these characters in, and they're all based at these different resorts. Okay, as White Lotus is apparently a real thing, right? So they go to different resorts, and it's stuff that's going on with the people that are there, and it starts with some kind of mystery that you work backwards to, basically.
I got you.
But everybody is screwed up. Everybody has these crazy things that are going on in these subplots throughout the whole thing. But if I were going to give a negative about it, it's I'm so tired of seeing dudes Johnsons. I mean, I've seen between that and what was the other show we're watching? It's like all of a sudden everybody wants to show dongs, and I'm like, listen, we don't like our own.
Right,
Okay, we don't want to see other people's. I mean, the ladies at least it's got an attractiveness to it.
Yeah,
But
as I said, now I know why Jamie's been trying to talk me into watching that show so much.
man, it's like, man, how many am I gonna? It's like every chance they get,
Right,
it's gonna
right.
be there, and I'm like, we joke about it now, like, hey, here comes a dong. Watch.
Yeah.
Sure enough, there it'll be, and you're like, wow, that's fantastic.
I just don't like it if it's
The Righteous Gemstones does that a lot too, and
See,
I
that's-
love that show.
That's another one. It's White Lotus and Righteous Gemstones that we wanted to pick up. What was the
Man,
So
we
what
just
you're saying
finished
is-
one and wanted to pick up one of those two.
man, if I had to pick up one of them, as great as White Lotus
One of the
is,
dongs or one of the shows?
I'll never pick up one of the dongs, bro. I could walk out here on the street, see one on the street, and be like, nope, not picking it up. Not my dong, not my problem.
Yeah.
No, I would say Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I mean, the cast is, God, man,
You
it's
got
so funny.
McBride, and what's the other guy's
Oh, man,
name?
you got Danny McBride. You've got Adam Devine. You've got, who else is it? John Goodman's in it. I mean, it's just a crazy cast of amazing. Walton Goggins.
Yes, that was the guy.
He's Uncle Baby Billy.
Yes, that was
And
the guy.
he's hilarious.
Dude, that actor in general, I've never seen him in anything that wasn't great. Like,
No, he always
he's
delivers.
a great actor. He was
is.
in Hateful Eight. He was in a show with Danny McBride called Vice Principals.
That's a good show.
Dude, that
2
is
seasons.
hilarious.
The
dude.
first couple episodes, we weren't sure.
Right.
But after that, it was a really good
That
show.
was so funny. And I read
is.
that was supposed to be a movie, and that they didn't have enough time in 2 hours, so
Yeah.
they made it into a very short series. But
Well,
man, it was good.
It is great. I mean, the storyline. Look, Danny McBride writes these. A lot of people don't know Danny McBride is a big time writer.
Okay.
And so a lot. That's why how he ended up in a lot of the comedies, because he is a comedy writer.
Right.
And his writing in that show is so good
Yeah.
because it's just like the Righteous Gemstones. If you can take me from farcical
Right.
to poignant
Right.
in a scene, when it's a show that's based on ridiculous things,
Right.
outlandish, funny things, but still bring you back to a moment that's serious enough, you kind of feel
Right.
a little emotional.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
That's
you're
what
like,
I love about
wow, that's crazy. You know how you can do that because it's not supposed to be that
Yeah.
way.
He
But he's such a
perfectly
great writer.
balances it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the Righteous Gemstones. If you don't know, it's based on a fictional evangelical family, like an Olstein family.
Oh, okay.
And so it pokes a very, very, very large amount of fun
Oh, yeah, I think I
at
would love
mega
that.
churches and things like that,
Right.
and those people, because none of them are good.
Yeah, no.
None of them are really good people. They're all terrible people.
Yeah,
in
dude,
everything
come on.
they do.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the actress that plays the sister. Her name's Judy in the show. She has the best lines of anybody.
Yeah.
Like her lines, absolute. Every time you hear it, it's gonna turn. You're gonna go, what? What'd you just say? You know. It's
Edie
pretty great.
Patterson.
Huh?
Edie Patterson.
Well, Edie Patterson's awesome.
Yeah.
She is amazing. Are the people saying anything over there, Rich?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Let me click back to, man, I don't know what is going on with me today. Let's see. Brandon said, well, when you were talking about, dongs.
Okay.
He said that's probably why you like the show, because of all the dongs.
No, that's exactly right. I'm
doggy
on a new Dong Fest. It's Dong
I mean,
Fest
hey, you've been
2025.
talking about asses and stories and all your news stories lately, so.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I identify as a platypus, and that means I can like anything.
Dude, I don't mind the dongs. I just don't want them to be prosthetic. If you're
Oh,
going to
you
show
want
me
to
a
show me
dong,
the
get
real
your
one.
dong out, dude. That's not fair. You get to wear a fake one.
Yeah.
You get to look impressive. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I will say this because I did laugh about it, and maybe it's legit. I don't know. But when Walton Goggins, he was one of them,
Yeah.
and he's standing there in this scene. I mean, junk just right front and center, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, you're like 5'10", white, skinny. Is it really yours?
So it's not. I don't remember who he was being interviewed by, but he did an interview talking about that.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
looked
hilarious to
It
listen to that
looked way
interview.
too
Yep. He talks about the process of having to go through
to get that put on.
to get. Well, no, it wasn't even him. It was a double.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a double. And actually, the interview was with Danny McBride.
So they used a body double
penis double.
and put his head on it.
Yep. And
Okay.
then, but yeah, Danny McBride talks about that in an interview that he did with Theo Vaughn like a week ago. So
Yeah.
go check that out because just listening to that, that's what got me like, oh, dude, I want to watch that show.
Yeah,
This
no,
is hilarious.
the show is so damn funny, man.
Yep.
It's as good as anything out there, and this is the last season. They're only doing 5 of them. That's
Mm-hmm.
typically how a lot of things do now. Most shows are 5-season arcs,
Right.
unless they're just doing incredibly well or they're on network
Right.
TV.
Man, I know y'all talked about it yesterday, but R.I.P. Kilmer, man. Val
Oh,
Kilmer.
I know,
Come
man.
on, dude.
Man, that
One
dude.
of my favorites.
Man, everything. Look, I'll tell you a movie I bet you guys, a lot of you haven't seen with Val Kilmer, even if you're a fan. And if you go watch this movie, you'll thank me for it. It's called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay.
And it's Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. All right, so Val Kilmer is this really funny gay detective, And Robert Downey Jr. is an actor who is saddled up with him to learn for a role that he's
Oh,
playing.
right. Kind of shadowing.
Yeah, and that movie is hilarious, bro. I mean, hilarious. But yeah, he's in some of my all-time favorite movies. Top Gun. He's Iceman. I mean, Iceman was central in Top Gun.
Dude, I'll give you another one that nobody knows about. It's a 2003 movie with Val Kilmer, Wonderland.
Wonderland.
He plays John Holmes, the famous porn
Oh,
star.
did he?
Dude, great movie. Great
bet
movie.
it is.
Yeah, it's an intense movie. You know, it's not like really a comedy or feel-good movie, but great movie. Oh,
Yeah,
I love
no,
that.
John Holmes died of either a $10,000 a day coke habit or AIDS. Take your choice. But
And he plays the role.
but
so
he he was known in porn for having a giant Johnson. I mean, like
And this story,
one of those you hit with a whip. Get back! Get in your
and
cage! Get back!
This story in the movie picks up after his porn career, and it
Okay.
really dives into like his drug addiction,
Yeah.
and everything he dealt with after that. But Val
wild.
Kilmer, man, kills the role.
Yeah, he's great. In there, I mean, he was great as Doc Holliday in
Yeah.
Tombstone, which is
on.
my
I'll be
favorite
your
Western.
Huckleberry, yeah.
my favorite role of his. By the way, we had this conversation after the show. A lot of people don't know this either. So everybody says, I'm your Huckleberry, or I'll be your Huckleberry. I think it's I'm your Huckleberry. But really, it's not even Huckleberry. It's Hucklebearer. It doesn't roll off the tongue the same, but a Hucklebearer was like a pallbearer, basically.
Right.
So what he's saying is, I'm going to lower you into your grave.
Right, right,
I'll be your Huckleberry. I'll carry you to your grave.
right.
Yeah. But everybody hears Huckleberry, and so that's what stuck.
Right.
You know, but that movie
Sounds
is,
sweeter.
yeah, well, that's my favorite Western, by all means. Do you like Westerns in general?
Oh yeah, man, Tombstone's one of my favorites. But yeah, dude, I've seen all the classic westerns. Love them. That's like our Sunday. You
Yeah.
know, like we'll just put on westerns.
Kevin
on Sunday.
Costner has a few.
Yeah. I did like not the new Yellowstone. I can't remember what it was called. It was like
1883 or something.
no, it was something completely separate of Yellowstone. But it was a new.
But he had some Western movies, right? I mean,
Right.
he had Open Range.
yeah,
was
that's
in
another
that.
good one.
I would call Braveheart kind of a Western in a way,
Yeah.
so to speak. I think he had maybe another one even besides that. Who's your favorite actor in Westerns? Did you have one?
Dude, I'm gonna go old school reference. James Arness.
Oh, Matt Dillon from
Yeah.
Gunsmoke.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Western characters of all time.
Yeah, that was, you know what, we were just talking about that too yesterday. We're talking about Gunsmoke because when I was a kid, I watched that all the time.
love it.
Had that squint-eyed deputy Festus.
Yeah, Festus Hagen.
Festus Hagen,
Yep,
man.
yep.
He had a limp,
Yeah, dude.
and he was the best, man. He was like the kind of sort of Barney Fife, but more
Yep.
serious, you know. But he was
Rode a mule.
Yeah, he was a great actor. You had Miss Kitty, you had him.
Yeah, dude, just Gunsmoke does a great job. I feel like, especially in I separate them in the black and white seasons and the
Yeah.
color season.
Yeah.
The black and whites those are the best episodes.
Yeah.
In the later seasons, they you don't see any of the main characters. They go
Yeah,
off
they
into
hope
a
it
side
out.
story. And, but yeah, I love Gunsmoke.
Yeah, you know, here's something interesting. Have you ever seen the movie with Kurt Russell called The Thing?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah, I've seen the thing.
The original one, James Arness was in that role.
Really? No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you go back, it's all black and white. It's from the 50s.
Okay, I'm not sure which one I've seen then because I've only seen one, The Thing.
Well, most people have seen the one with Kurt Russell, which has got Wilford Brimley, the oatmeal guy, in it.
Yeah.
Which is a great role for him too. That's an awesome movie. It's you just have to watch it.
Right.
I think it's on Paramount maybe right now to stream free. I don't
Yeah.
know. They just loaded a bunch of movies on the streaming services right now. People saying anything?
Oh, I just had to personal message.
Oh,
That
okay.
was all, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Marcia
they are saying stuff.
Marcia said we were watching Gemstones after the second dong. Eddie was like, "Come on, man!" I was like, "He got an unsolicited D pic." I think it's hilarious.
Wait.
That's funny.
Heath MacArthur says that's not true about the Hucklebearer thing. That recycles from time to time, but it's
Oh,
wrong.
is it wrong?
Well,
said.
I was thinking because I thought I remembered having like a Val Kilmer biography or autobiography at one point that was called Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Like that said it on the title, but I couldn't.
I know y'all lost me when you started talking about westerns. I remember as a kid, my dad loved, and bless his soul, he's
All right, hold on. I pulled up I'm your Huckleberry, Val Kilmer's tombstone quote explained. All right, so maybe he's right.
Look
Let's
at you
see.
using Google, man.
I know, I'm faster than I let on because I'll let you do it.
That's what she said.
Oh, yeah, he does say skin that smoke. That is great. Billy Bob Thornton gets the shit slapped
He
out
looks
of him.
like a bitch in that
Oh, my
scene,
God,
dude.
he does.
Oh
He's not
my
even
God.
credited in the movie.
Oh, my
But,
God.
man, that is
Such
one
a
of the
good
greatest
scene.
scenes.
His lip
right there.
starts bleeding and his
Oh, yeah.
quivering like.
Oh, yeah. No, it does look like, who was it that said that, by the way?
It was Heath MacArthur.
Heath may be right.
This is Val's own memoir, and it's titled "I'm Your Huckleberry."
Well, that says
Yeah,
it, doesn't it?
yeah,
That
yeah.
pretty much says I'm a dumbass. So,
But I have heard that. That's not the first time.
Yeah.
I've heard that. And I, think just 'cause
I
of the
would
relation.
suspect it still comes from that origin.
Yeah, exactly.
But I could still be wrong as I was before, and so that means we have to take a break. If I'm wrong, I can't handle it. My ego's too
yep.
fragile.
Turned on the radio today. Cut it off after 2 songs play. Whatever happened to rock and roll? Everything is sad and it blows. Huey was singing now about the heart. ZZ Top jammed about cars. AC/DC shook us all night long. Why are all the good times gone? I just wanna get in my damn car and bump up the speakers without hearing all these songs about depression, dope, and tweakers. I remember days riding with my friends, singing every song to the end. What the hell are they doing now? Sitting together in a car and crying. Sometimes my buddies ask me, how come you don't listen to new stuff? I don't know, but maybe it's because I'm not a damn cream puff. I just wanna get in my damn car and bump up the speakers without hearing all these songs about depression, dope, and tweakers. While all these folks are sad and wailing, I'm sticking with Def Leppard, GNR, and Van Halen. Oh yeah. It always feels like a good jam session, and I don't end up with a bag of depression. I just wanna get in my damn car and bump up the speakers without hearing all these songs about depression, dope, and tweakers.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we were having a meeting real quick, so it took a second there. We were rah-rahing in
Safety
Your
meeting.
feelings
Yeah.
were hurt. We had to,
Yeah, they had to console me
you,
and whatnot,
he
so
was
yeah,
back
I was
there
dragging
crying.
for some reason on everything. What's going on with the people, man? Are they got anything for us right now?
Just still talking about movies, man. Marsha said American Primeval is an amazing Western series.
Really?
Oh yeah, really. We
Bulldog,
just
you said-
finished that one.
Did you?
Yeah,
What's
super
that
good.
about?
Man, it gets real kind of dark. You know, it's
Yeah.
about a group of Native American Indians that they're kind of battling back and forth with the whole time, and they're not like normal. I feel like they really stretched the characterization of the Native Americans and being
Okay.
like these like brutal. They've got like this. They've got what the death whistle that we have in
Yeah,
here.
the Aztec
They've
death
got,
whistle.
They
Yeah.
like
A version.
carve one of these out of a piece of bone and they like shove it, like stab it in their throat.
Oh,
So
wow.
when they scream. It makes that sound, and so
That's
it's-
crazy.
Yeah, it's a good one though. It's kind of dark there at the end, but it's good.
You know what? And I know it's not the same, but I was surprised by it and I really liked, and I don't know if it's been popular or not. It always says it's popular, but have you seen the Predator movie called Prey?
I haven't watched that one yet.
Man, I was so surprised by it. It was so good to
Yeah.
me. To me, it was so good because it puts Predator basically back in time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and so
Right.
you know, it's cowboys and Indian time, but it's not hokey in any possible way.
Right.
And the girl, I don't remember her name. A, she is stunning, but B, she is a phenomenal little actress. It's very different than any Predator you've ever seen. The whole concept of it is much more intriguing.
Yeah.
Other than the very first Predator, probably.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely worth. If you like westerns,
Yeah.
it's definitely worth watching.
Hell yeah. I'll have to check it out.
It's wild. It was. I mean, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpectedly, I watched it on a lark, and now I think I've watched it 3 times
Yeah.
because I liked it so much. Do you have movies like that sometimes that you stumble on? Like, what's a movie you stumbled on that you're like, man, that's a really good film?
Man,
Oh, I know which one you're thinking about. You were just telling me you watched Mad Max Beyond Thunderbone.
What?
What?
I haven't even. What?
Is that what you said you were watching?
come on.
Oh,
Yeah, at comments, that's all.
well, what are they saying?
Well, let's see. Latasha had come in and said she feels so out of loop this morning. I hope you all aren't having too much fun. And Brandon responded and said, just talking about dongs and movies.
Dongs and movies. Yeah, that's a whole show right there. Dongs and movies.
Patrick and the people.
That's right.
in.
No, I'm sure. Listen, if guys look, a lot of guys watch stuff with their wives that their wives would like them to watch, and you know, I'm sure many guys have seen this. They've experienced this phenomenon I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And they've gone, yeah, no, I get it, man.
I do feel like it's a lot more prevalent. You used to
Well,
never see dong.
It is. I don't know when they had a
people, you know.
meeting. Well, but wait a minute. Hold on. It's not like you see vagina in movies all the time. You see boobs.
True.
You see boobs or butts, but not the
I mean, do
genitalia.
you really want to be watching a movie and see a set of moobs?
I don't. I don't want to see any male anatomy. To be honest with you, I understand
Right.
it's not just for me, but
It's
no,
part
that's
of the show.
yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
We were talking about this yesterday. What about and y'all were talking about westerns? Like, is there one western? And for me, you know, we were talking about Rifleman.
Oh, the
I
Rifleman.
can remember. You know, I can recite the theme song and hear it in my head.
Yeah,
from-
Chuck Connor.
Yeah, my dad watching all the time. What about for y'all? Is there a famous, you know, movie or theme or something that you can just?
Oh, a theme song.
Yeah.
Man, I could probably, you know, golly, in the 80s, I had a cassette recorder and I would get so mad at people for talking, my parents, specifically, because I would record theme songs when they came on.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
right.
certain shows I
Yeah.
would record the theme song because, you know, I liked it and I wanted to hear it. I was a kid, you know, and
Right.
it's fun to record shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, probably there are dozens of them I
Yeah.
could do, you know.
For
but
sure. Especially
Andy
like
Griffith is
sitcom.
probably the one.
Oh
that-
yeah, the whistle.
whistle.
Yeah.
yeah, the whistle, because I can do the whistle.
Oh,
Fresh
okay.
Prince.
So, yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
That's
Well,
a good
yeah,
one.
everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
Everybody knows that one, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Will Smith just dropped a new song. I guess he's dropping a
Not
new
the whole
album.
album.
Yeah. Does anyone care?
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, I was the biggest Will Smith fan, and I mean, if you're unbiased, I feel like some of the rap songs kind of hit.
Yeah,
I
no,
just
I
can't-
mean, I liked Miami. I like,
I can't get over the
Parents
slap.
just don't
I
understand.
I feel like it just it marked him.
It-
You know, and I was the biggest Will Smith fan, and I just can't. Now you just kind of seem like a whiny bitch, no matter what you do.
well,
you know what I mean?
it's a two-tiered thing. A, you slap Chris Rock, who half your size and one of the most beloved comedians on the planet, and obviously not a threat to you.
Yeah, well, and it's just a bitch move. You went up there and assaulted him.
Right.
He doesn't have
But
the
the-
option
the-
to defend him.
But the bigger part of it to me is that clearly you determined that Jada's running his shit.
Right.
You know, and I don't like her at all.
Right.
Now it's his own fault for being.
Yeah.
But it is hard to overcome that because he seemed like the most cool, down to
He was
earth,
the most
wholesome type.
lovable
Yeah,
guy
just
before that.
just
Like-
a good dude. You know.
Oh, we were feeling sorry for him because the August.
Yeah, the
what's his
August
name?
Alsina
Yeah.
thing where she's out
God.
having
Banging him.
banging him. What you entanglements as
Yeah,
she
that's
called
what
them.
she said it.
No, it's cheating, but
Yeah.
maybe they were doing it both of them. I don't know. There's lots of rumors that go around about that family, and it's hard to say. I mean, they are unusual.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Will Smith.
It just sucks.
It's,
man.
it does suck because every time you see him, you think of it.
I can't get past
Matthew
it.
Dobbs agrees with you. He says Will Smith exposed himself as a true bitch.
That's 100. Like one, I just love stand up comedy. So like,
Yeah.
I hate any thought of like, oh, you don't just get to come on stage and punch somebody.
Well, and it wasn't like that joke was insane.
no, dude.
It was, matter of fact, it wasn't insane because I think he was referring to her as Sigourney Weaver or something. Who was
Right.
like a badass in Aliens,
Right?
you know?
Like,
Come on. And
Yeah. Or no, G.I. Jane. That's what he
Yeah.
said. G.I. Jane, who was a badass.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay.
well, and there's a way to go. Like he still could have got up there and said, "Hey, keep my wife's name out." But when Chris Rock has no option to fight back. He's on live TV hosting a huge show.
And
It's
he's
just
way smaller.
yeah.
I mean, I think Will Smith's like 6'4".
Right, and it's just like, yeah, dude, bitch move. Like that's the only time you would go up and punch him in the face.
Yeah, if
Is-
that had been Dwayne Johnson standing there, he
you
would
have
not have.
laughed right along. Dude.
Yeah,
you
no,
wouldn't have
you
said
would have
shit.
told Jay to shut the.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'd have stepped up there and got that ass beats would have happened. But because it
Yep.
was little old Chris Rock, who's probably 5'10" and weighs a buck.
And then the rest of the night, it was just
Oh,
wild.
the
too.
worst was them. They let him stay, and then he gave this speech.
Where he cries and
Yeah, and it's like, who are you? You just slapped Chris Rock, bitch. Go home.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Nobody
come
wants to
on.
hear from you
Come
now.
on.
he tried to like compare himself to
Oh,
Serena
right.
And Venus's dad, like he was a natural protector, you know.
Yeah, no, you
Like,
just slapped
brother.
Chris Rock again. Reminder.
outta here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please leave. that was their biggest mistake was letting him stay and make that
100%.
speech.
100%.
You know, if they'd have just run him off, it would have been better for him too, honestly. Because maybe he could have just wrote it off and said, "Listen, I screwed up.
Yeah,
this is what
I was
happened."
having a bad
But
night.
when he glossed past it and made some long-winded hero speech about himself,
Right.
you're like, "No, player,
Well, and imagine how awkward it had to be for everybody else to go through the rest of the night. Like, well, is nobody going to do anything about it?
Right. It would have to seem weird because look, if I'm Chris Rock and you just slap me
you're not
and you're gonna let
wrong.
him get back up and talk,
Like, oh, man.
oh no. But you know, I guess I'll say this. I mean, it's the best publicity the Oscars had in forever because
for sure.
I don't give a shit about the Oscars.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
I haven't
It's
a
been
long. I don't like
years.
any award shows anymore. I don't want to see any of them.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
we
care.
don't watch any of them.
I might read about whoever it was, but I don't care to watch a bunch of celebrities because I don't give a shit what they think.
Right.
You know, I don't know if how many people feel that way.
And I feel like anything noteworthy that happens at a show like that, it comes out in the headlines tomorrow. You know, you don't have to watch the whole
No, you don't have
3
to.
hours to get the one, interesting thing that happened.
And it's usually only one interesting thing, and typically it's not even really that interesting. To be honest with you, but yeah, I don't care how celebrities vote. I don't even want to know.
No.
I regret you started telling me how you vote
100%.
because some of you I really like. And it's not because you vote a certain way. It's because you run your head about it
Yeah,
like you got
exactly.
any stake in it.
Exactly.
But I can't listen to somebody tell me you need to give up more when I'm and this country sucks when I'm like, bitch, you got rich in this country.
Yeah, you're doing the best of all.
And,
of
and
us,
so
buddy.
what are you going to give up? Because you're not giving up anything, are you?
Yeah, and dude, I think it's like I hate watching it for the fact like if you just look at like the watches that people are wearing.
Oh,
you
right.
start to look around, you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, these
It's
people
just ridiculous.
are as soft as they can possibly be. They got $100,000 worth of clothes on. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here, dude. Why would I watch that? That has nothing to do with me. Like,
No,
watch
hell
the
no.
movies you act in, but as far as y'all gathering and all patting each other on the back, I don't give a shit.
No, man. Then that's what it is. It's a circle jerk because, first of all, at least the Oscars used to be about movies you gave a shit about.
Right. And
Now half of them you haven't seen.
never
them.
heard of.
You hadn't heard of them. You don't care about them, and probably they suck.
Right. Well, and that's what I was going to say. The ones you do think are good, they're like, oh, man, this is really a good piece of film.
Yeah.
They don't even mention them. They skim right by.
Let me ask you, what did you think about No Country for Old Men?
Man, I know you hate that movie. I love every bit of it except the end. I just
Yeah.
thought it ended horrible.
Well, that's why I was so mad because it was so good until then, and I'm like, that sucks.
Right.
Yeah, I was so mad
loved
about
Woody
it.
Harrelson's role, and
I mean, I like every actor in it. Yeah.
but yeah, the ending. It's just Tommy Lee Jones talking about a dream he had or something. And
Yeah, it's like I don't even understand. Yeah, what's going on here? All right, let's shift gears. We all love a good petty revenge story. TikTok delivering. User recently asked her followers, "Give me your worst petty revenge suggestions that won't get me in legal trouble." And people understood the assignment. I promise you that. Here's some of their responses. If you share a Netflix, Disney, etc. account, you can see what he's watching. Change his name to massive spoilers like Glenn Dies. That's pretty good.
That's great.
Milk in a mist spray bottle. Mist everything.
Oh, my God.
Do you know how foul that would smell?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's brilliantly bad.
So wait, what are we trying to get back?
Petty
for?
revenge.
I know, just because.
Whatever.
I mean, what are they getting revenge for? Yeah.
Well, probably relationship stuff.
Oh, okay.
That would be my guess here. If you've got a milk mist spray bottle, that's going to be in your own place, I'm guessing. You're not just going to go in. I'm not just showing up at an enemy's house. Going, I'm going to spray this.
Right.
That's breaking and entering. Pay a homeless person to stop by his work twice a month, only to walk in and say, "I know what you did," and leave.
That's pretty good.
It's kind of funny.
Pretty good.
A singular raw shrimp inside the curtain rod. God, that's true.
Oh God.
And it only takes one. You put it inside that curtain rod, put the thing back in, man, they'll never find the stink. They'll break walls open.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's
Have you ever done anything to get some revenge like that?
sure.
Yeah, I can't mention it.
Sure I have. Absolutely I have. Yeah, no, I did put something under the seat of a car of a person one time who left their door unlocked. I noticed it when I pulled up.
Yeah.
I could see it because it's the days where they would stand up, And I was like, "Oh, bitch left his door unlocked. I got him. I've been waiting on this moment." And I threw had a Wendy's bag that I dumped onions in because I don't like the onions. And if you've ever gotten in your car the day after on fast food and left that in there, I shoved it up under the seat and tucked it in the spring part.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I know it yeah.
Guy was guilty of nothing but leaving his door maybe.
Yeah, he was guilty of running his mouth more than he should have.
There you go.
Here's one. Sign them up for Scientology. You can fill out the form saying they prefer to be contacted by phone and that they work overnight shifts, so the best time to call is 3 a.m.
That's pretty good.
That is good. We used to sign people up for magazine subscriptions.
Yeah.
Just because it's so easy to do. Just go sign them up. Or we would sign people up for the Columbia House Music Club, 12 CDs for a penny and send it to them. Yeah, at the worst CDs ever. It'd be stuff that nobody wanted to hear. Let's see. I joined her grandma's bingo group and sweet talked her, so now every day she has to listen to her grandma talk about me.
That's pretty good. That's some deep cut.
Yeah, no, it is. That is. My sister repainted her kitchen cabinets during her divorce and purposefully stuck long hairs in the paint everywhere. That's a B move. Yeah. I'm logged into my ex-boss's Spotify account and I play Dirty Work by Steely Dan every day. So it's always the #1 song and he can't get past it. That would be annoying, I guess.
Get your ex-boss's login information, though.
Yeah, that I don't
That's
know.
the
That's
real
a
question.
good one.
Yeah.
My dad once. No, that's boring. I started leaving cheese slices on someone's car under their windshield wiper like they were parking tickets.
That's a fun one. I like that.
That is fun.
Kind of harmless.
I once sent a cheating ex 100 red flags in the mail with the note, thought you might want them back. And then this warning, y'all can be criminally charged for sending a package of glitter. Don't ask me how I know.
Nuh-uh.
If it's an exploding glitter bomb,
Wow.
they do that. They do the little glitter bombs where you open it and just poof.
Oh, I know they do.
But you can be charged?
I didn't know you could
That's
be
what
criminally
they
charged.
said that. I don't know. It's just a comment. Hell, I wouldn't know. Have you ever done something to get revenge?
Man, I don't know if it was so much revenge, but I had a tweaker living by me for a while, and I don't know. It's just I hated pulling up and seeing him and his crackheaded friends out in the yard, and like I just wanted to play a little psychological warfare on him, so I got one of the little cricket chirpers,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and
So it sounds like a cricket?
yeah, it goes off like every 5 minutes or something
Okay.
for 48 hours, and I put those under his house for a month or so just to watch him crawl around out there.
Oh,
and
wow.
his
That's
cricket,
funny as
but,
hell.
Yeah, nothing that was
Rich,
harmful.
I know you've gotten revenge.
Yeah, you ran over that dude at the gas
He
station.
drug him like half a mile on a bicycle.
He cut him off. Rich said, "I'll get you."
Yeah, there was blood streaks in the.
I've
shell.
I've sent maybe 1 or 2 bags of dicks in my life.
Oh,
Those little
nice. I've
dummy
seen the
dicks to
bags.
somebody.
Oh, yeah?
Like, here, eat a dick. Yeah.
That is a good one. That's pretty fun.
My all-time favorite one I had when I was living in Hot Springs. There was at the apartment complex where my parking spot was, and there was another guy, and he always used to just park
Super close.
super close to
Yep.
my car. Where like I'd always have to open the door and squeeze in the morning and stuff.
Yeah.
So after about the 3rd time, I got mad, and so I backed in. But I backed in so much that like the only way for him to get in his car was he was gonna have to get in the passenger side and like climb through. And so then he started backing up. So I turned my car. No matter what he did,
You
for
did
like
it.
2 weeks straight, I made sure that was how he
Yeah.
had to get into his car.
That's pretty
He
funny.
ended up moving.
Yeah, you ran him out of town.
Not quite the same, but I did get revenge on a rooster. I lived.
Leave it up to you to get revenge on a cock.
That's right. That's right. I knew that White Lotus was going to ruin me later, so I got ahead of it. Now I lived at Whisperwood Apartments over on Baseline Road, and Whisperwood, and right behind us was a neighborhood. I was at the building at the very back, and so there was a residential neighborhood, and the person had chickens in their backyard, and they had a rooster, and that rooster, for whatever reason, at like 4 a.m. every day. And it's right by my window, man. I mean, it's like, God damn, shut up, man. I'm trying to sleep. And this went on for weeks. And finally, I went down to the store and I bought a BB gun, a BB rifle,
Right.
like a Red Ryder, basically. And so I set my alarm for 3:50 for about a week straight. And I'd wake up, I'd sight that rooster, because he'd get up on the same place to crow every time, like on a stump. I'd sight him in, and as soon as that beak began to open, pop!
Shut up.
Yep, pop! It took about a week. And I know they wondered why their rooster quit crowing, because he didn't know what was going on. He just knew every time he started to crow, it hurt.
Right.
So he's like, I'm done crowing. After about a week, he was like, I'm out.
What's up with the rooster? He's
Yeah.
kind of quiet. Like I think he's depressed or something.
Yeah, no, he probably was, man. He probably dead, but God love him. I was so, I wouldn't do that for anything now, but
Right.
when you're young and stupid, that seemed like the thing to do, because I just couldn't take it anymore. He was waking me up every damn morning.
Back when I delivered for FedEx Ground, if we got have to go to the 3rd floor of an apartment building with a bed frame or something super heavy,
Yeah.
'cause we had to carry up to 150 pounds on our own. That was the deal. And so, hauling that up 3 flights of stairs or whatever to the top floor of an apartment. So I would set it up on the door, like kind of at an angle, so that if they were home and they opened the door, as soon as they opened the door, the thing would just fall and hit them in the head.
It's assault, brother.
Hey, man, I just delivered your package. I didn't know you were home, man.
That's hilarious, actually. Hey, y'all keep talking. I got to get some water.
Yeah, go for it.
Y'all figure out something to talk about.
Figure out something to talk about.
What's tell me more about what's happening May 3rd.
Oh man, well we are all set and ready to roll. It's Vapors Championship Wrestling. Of course, it's going to be a little bit Star Wars themed, so we're calling it
Okay,
Age of
yeah.
Rebellion.
Okay.
But we've got Mike Quackenbush coming in. He's going to do a couple seminars.
Nice.
And he's well known in the independent scene and really professional scene too.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
done a lot of training for WWE, trained wrestlers like Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Has done a couple promotions up there and everything. So that's going to be a good time, man.
Nice.
yeah.
What's the big match tonight? What's the main event?
Main event is going to be. Hang on here, let me pull it up. I've been doing so much stuff lately.
We're gonna see all the regular guys.
Yeah, I know. And you can always go to our Facebook too, Vapors Championship Wrestling, and see all the cards on there. We are going to have, of course, triple threat tournament still going on. This will be the
for
second
the
round.
triple threat belt.
Yeah, for the future VCW Triple Threat Championship, and that's going to be that'll be coming up in July at the next Arkin Brawl that we do.
Nice.
So, but main event of the night is going to be actually the authentic Ray Ivy versus Mike Quackenbush. So
Okay,
not
nice.
only is he coming in and doing a couple seminars, but he's going to be participating in a match also. So.
Oh yeah, and that's gonna be at the Boys and Girls Club. You
Yeah,
lock
Boys
that
and
in?
Girls Club in Benton. Everybody spread the word. What they're doing is we nailed them down as a venue. They've never had a wrestling event out there before.
Dude, first ever wrestling event
At the Boys
Oh,
and
yeah,
Girls
dude.
Club in Benton.
Hell
And so yeah, I kind of went out there because we had talked on the phone and they were like, all right, we're interested, but
Right.
come out and let us know what exactly you're talking about.
Right.
And so I went out there and answered
us a
all their
rundown.
questions, and they were like, okay, yeah, we could try this out. So yeah, May it's gonna be. Oh hey, welcome back, man. May 3rd it's gonna be, and we get one shot. They said, we're gonna try it out, see how it goes. If it goes well, we'll be able to have the rest of our events there.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't, we'll be back to square one looking for another venue.
Yeah, I
So,
gotcha.
so
Yeah, hey,
right.
thanks, boss man.
we're rocking it out. We got.
Dude, I didn't even see the water bottle. How did I not even see that, dude? Come on.
We gotta get the camera over here.
the White Lotus Street.
Oh damn, dude. Got this morning.
Like us?
Where's HR? Who's HR? Is Amanda HR?
Yeah, no, they're down the hall. I'll show you later.
You're a little late, man. April Fool's was a couple days ago.
Yeah, no, I'm a fool.
Dude, people have been loving them calls.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, God.
Dude, me and my wife cracked up so bad at that same day.
Wait, now
like,
that you're
that was
here, I gotta
hilarious.
ask, what were the stories around Denton Dental about the call?
So it was actually funny. 'cause
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
hold on. Let me set this up before you say,
No,
because.
you left. We're talking.
So we called Bundy's wife works with the dentist. She's an assistant there, and so we called her dental office just because we knew it would get back to her.
Right.
So now circle it.
So if you remember, the girl who answered the phone
The
panicked.
first one.
The girl who answered the phone panicked and just referred y'all to another office.
Right.
Which my wife was like, so hold on, what? You just sent them to another office? Like, that's not what you do. She's like, well, it was a prank call. I didn't know what to do. She's like, well, yeah, just don't refer them to another office.
That's
Like,
great. So I wondered if she just made that up because it sounded weird.
Yeah, she was just panicked. She was just
That's
she didn't know what to do in the moment. It was like, we'll send you to the Bologna office, like the town of 2000.
And what's great is we called
We
them
did
and
leave
left
them a
message.
voicemail.
Yeah, we haven't heard. She hadn't heard from that doctor yet. That's Dr. Hambig. She's like, I haven't heard anything from
He
him.
probably
I don't
doesn't
know."
even know it happened. They
Right.
probably started listening to it and clicked.
Right.
But
Yeah,
dude,
that
I know
really-
all the girls up there. They're like, dude, that we were having kind of a slow, just bummerish day, and that made all of our days. Dude, that
It was
so
something to
funny.
talk about,
Yeah,
it was wild. If you hadn't
Exactly.
seen it, Luke Shoemaker come in that day, and he
Luke instigated it all.
He did. He instigated all of it because we were talking about how funny it would be to have Rich announce me everywhere I went. So now we got to extrapolate it out to the public and go to Walmart, or actually we should go to that same Dollar General that we called. We should go to the same one on JFK. And open the door and announce, and that's what we started
I
talking
don't know.
about.
That dude might be like, there they is.
Yeah, there they are right there. Get them. Yeah. But it was.
Y'all thought it was funny playing on the phone.
Yeah. No, everybody had a different response. She panicked. He got mad. And God loved the lady with the hotel reservation who was just solid as a rock. She should get a raise. She should be promoted for dealing with that.
Closing the deal, dude.
No, she was like, you say whatever you want. We're going to get to the end where I ask for your money, you know?
Exactly. I'm about to charge y'all, so y'all just keep it going.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. That was a good time. So they had fun with it.
I told Amanda when we were in the background watching, I was like, man, it's spring break week. It's here at 9:30 in the morning. We're making prank calls. I feel like I'm 15.
Right?
This is
No,
so fun.
it was so fun. I laughed about it all day long thinking about it, and it's so silly, but it's the silliest things that still make you laugh like
dude,
that, right?
It was good old-fashioned, harmless fun.
Yes.
Like, it was good shit, man.
If you're looking for something to do this evening, let me give you a suggestion. Go down to Stone's Throw. Tonight they have taproom trivia. It's at 6:30 p.m. and first, second, and third win prizes. Normally it's beer. 402 East 9th is where they are now. If you've never been to Stone's Throw, you might be like, well, "What's it like?" I'd call it a local neighborhood bar. Except he craft makes his own beer there. They've got 14 flavors that are all draft. Matter of fact, on Monday you get $5 crowlers, but today it's taproom trivia at 6:30 p.m. Get in there.
And dude, that trivia is popular. I see people
very
online
popular.
every week getting pumped about that.
Yeah, no, they do. I mean, they have a lot of fun with it, and it's a good way to show off your brain and get beer.
Right,
I think we need to form up a PATP trivia team or something. Go check it out.
Man, I like
I'm
watching.
gonna think about it.
I like watching trivia.
I'll think about
I
it.
don't like participating.
I do
always
love
suck.
participating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel like even if I know the answer, the pressure's too much for me. I blank at that, and
Well, I always think I'm good till I watch Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And about 4 questions in, you're like, oh shit, I don't know anything about
dude, if
that.
you want to feel better about yourself, watch the one hosted by Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live. It's Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually do quite
No,
good
you
at that
did.
one.
I did well at that. Yeah. I only watched part of an episode, but yeah, you're right about that. I could kill that one.
Regular Jeopardy, they get really into it. It's like, how the hell did you know that, dude? It's
Yeah.
such a specific question about a specific author or
Yeah, it's
line
just
out
things
of a
that are so
book.
deep
It's like,
that
yeah.
you're like, wow, yeah. Now, if you need help with inflammation, anxiety, weight loss, anything like that, a lot of people are maybe looking for things outside of Big Pharma. Botanical Alchemy Nutraceuticals, they're veteran owned, and they make sublingual CBD, and they tailor the recipe to your specific need. They are phenomenal at what they do. And the difference between it and the CBD you're going to get at these gas stations is most of those are either gummy or pill form, right? Mm-hmm. You only absorb 20%. This you're going to absorb 80% of, but it's professionally done. It's doctor based. It's amazing. Go over to BANTX. It's BANTX.com and put in PATP25 to get 25% off your first order. That's a damn good deal.
Yeah, dude, and just straight up, honestly, it's like the pill form and gummy form that's mass produced by these big corporations. Not only are you not getting all of it, what they say is in there. It's real hard to regulate.
It is.
The amount that's going in. It's real inconsistent. This gummy might have 100% of the CBD they say that's in it, but this one might have 1%.
Well, it's
so
very inconsistent. Not only that, but you'd be amazed at how many things like that are imported and very shortly after are no longer allowed to be used. Like, they started because the regulations, again, rules are different in China, right? So they're making these things, supplements for guys, right? To boner pills, okay?
Right.
And but they were putting Viagra in it. Well, you don't have a prescription for that.
Yeah.
So that's dangerous to play around with things like that. I mean, maybe it works, if it's the right amount, but if you don't know what you're taking, it could be anything in there.
And that's how I just view anything like that comes in like a gummy form or something like that. It's like you don't know what you're getting. There's no way to to test the quality of the product.
No, because anybody that's got an ice tray can make gummies.
Yeah, dude, it's
Basically.
nothing. Yeah.
No.
Now, what do you know? You know, you're eating the gummy. You're like,
Yeah, I mean, anybody can make everybody's got great printers. Everybody's got AI to make graphics. You can make labels. You can do all that
I
yourself.
say all that to say that go to those guys because they're going to cater to your specific needs, and you know what you're getting. You're not getting some.
No, you're going to get consistent quality. They have a recipe. If you have inflammation, like I have arthritis, and maybe you're like, hey, it's helping, but I need a little more in it. They're going to tweak that up, and once they do, and you say, hey, this is perfect, then it will always come at that recipe.
That's your
for you.
prescription. Yeah.
That is your remedy. Yeah, it's specifically tailored to you, and that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you got going on this week? I know you just rolled out the new company. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
It's Summit Services, by the way, for everybody.
Was hoping to get a start today on a rough end in Bologna, but it's all dirt work.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to postpone that to try out a little
Yeah,
bit.
you had to wait for that to dry out.
But yeah, just working, man. Still balancing, Bundy Electric on the side. I'm not going away from that. So
Yeah.
got a little extra on my plate right now, but I love that kind of shit. I love having stuff to work at and stuff to do. So
Sometimes when people buy, flip houses and whatnot, and you know this very well, but a lot of times if it's an older home, the electrical's not up to code.
Right.
Right. Why is that? If you go in and everything seems to be working fine, why is it such a big deal to have to bring it up to code?
a lot of houses, especially wired before like 1980, 1970, they're what you call a two-wire system. You have a hot and a neutral. And I know this
That's
is
like a battery.
Yeah, you're kind of getting into electrical talk that maybe not everybody's familiar with, but essentially your house is missing an equipment ground.
Okay.
Which means it doesn't have a direct path to go back to ground should you experience an arc fault or some kind of spark fault in your panel or electrical. So that's the biggest
So it's
thing.
much more likely to start a fire because it's going to arc within.
And that's really all you come down to is like, yeah, it's worked fine. You're just more likely to have an issue or
And
a
die.
hazard. Yeah, an issue or a hazard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. It's really peace of mind is what the electrical code gives you. It's like we've made this code to where we're going to reduce the risk of hazards or issues to the minimal
So,
amount.
I know we're getting ready to get in the weeds here, but I hear sometimes they'll say, "Oh, it's got old knob and tube."
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So used to like junction your wires in the attic, they used porcelain knobs, like, and you'll see a lot of them, like if you look at old pictures of power lines, or it's the same kind of setup they had, just these porcelain knobs that the wire ties
Wrapped
into.
around.
Yep. And the wire's exposed, that knob and every bit of that wire.
It's hot as hell.
It's
It's
hot as hell,
electric.
yeah.
You touch it, you
and
get
it's hot.
smashed. Yeah.
So that's the biggest risk with that. You're crawling through an attic.
And you put your hand on the wrong
Exactly.
place. Next thing you know, you're peeing on your
And
leg.
now it's up to code. Any wire junction like that, be in a box, be capped off, be safetied off.
Right. That makes sense.
The knob and tube I've took out a lot of it, demoed a lot of it.
What is something commonly you see that people do regarding electrical at home that they should not do? What's something that's a bad thing, that people shouldn't be messing with?
Man, I would say just not being familiar with like what circuits are what and plugging too much stuff into one thing.
Okay.
Kitchens or especially older kitchens, because they might only put one circuit in there.
Right.
So that's all you have to work with. Now I try to put at least 5 dedicated circuits in a kitchen.
That's something that we ran into at a house you recently helped where my buyers flipped it. And that was one of the things. They had one circuit and literally the stove, the refrigerator,
Microwave.
the washer, the dryer,
All of it.
everything was on it. So there's no way you're going to run 2 or 3 at the same time because it's going to throw the trip.
Exactly. And man, I think just and like you said, it's kind of getting into the weeds, but just being, a lot of people don't know. They'll call for a job and it's like, okay, what size panel do you have? And they don't know. So
Right.
it's just familiarizing yourself. It's electricity. It's really the most important.
What about-
the most important thing in your home?
I'll tell you something a lot of people don't do and should is label their box.
Yeah, that's something, I offer that service too. Just that. If you've got a panel that's not labeled, hit me up. We'll go in there and test each circuit, figure out where it
Find
goes,
out
and
what
I'll
it
take
is, put a label on it. That way you can recognize everything, know exactly where to go.
And it might save you from calling an electrician, because sometimes people call because they don't have a circuit working, they just don't know where it's at.
They just don't
Turn it
know to
off
flip
or-
it on
yeah,
and off
flip it
again.
on.
Yeah.
So you might save yourself some money.
That I didn't know that you offered that. That's a pretty cool
Yeah.
service, actually, because
Sure.
it is tricky to do it by yourself for sure. You know, because you got to walk back, find out, walk
Yeah.
back.
Well, and it was just one of those things where I was doing that a lot, going to do a
Yeah.
service call, and it'd take me twice the amount of time because I can't. And so then I just started offering that as a single service, which really it's helping the next electrician out more than
Sure.
anything, you know.
Right.
But, it's good for the homeowner too, you know.
Well, yeah,
just
I want to know what
you-
controls what.
Exactly. You open your panel and everything's blank. You don't know.
You know,
Yeah,
you're just making guesses and flipping
Exactly.
switches, and that's not a good idea.
exactly.
Yeah. Were y'all talking about wrestling after I left?
Yeah. We're talking about the
Okay,
May
I was
3rd
just
event
making
coming
sure that we got that out there. That big event coming up, man.
Dude, I'm pumped for that, man. I've had so much fun at the Vapors events, the two that we've had, the Ark and Brawl. And
Yeah.
You said, hold on,
We were
earlier.
talking about the one in May. We've got
Yeah.
another wrestling event coming up this Saturday out in Searcy.
Oh, okay.
Right, but you got the one coming up in May. You said you've already pre-sold 20, and you didn't even have a pre-sale thing up.
Yeah, I haven't even made the what's called the ticket booth or whatever online for it. Yeah, we've already had a few people come forward and be
So are
like,
there
"Hey, can I get
still-
like 20 ringside tickets?"
So are there still any ringside tickets left?
There are. That's why I was talking to you a little bit earlier about chairs, because I'm trying
yeah.
to in my head figure out, okay, you know, we've got this many chairs, so many seats, and this is all the fun behind the scenes
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
of putting
Yeah.
on one of these events. you
Right.
know, So,
But I was just, you know, I knew for a fact, you know, when you said the Benton, you know, Boys and Girls Club, I was like, this is going to be an absolute dub for Vapors, because Saline County will get out and represent.
Right. Show up. and show out.
They love that stuff, man. So I think you're going to kill the game in Saline. I think you're going to run it.
I think so. I'm very optimistic. I am one of those people, especially when it comes to wrestling events. You know, I've learned I don't.
You don't get your expectations
Yeah, I
up.
wait until
Don't
the
count
end
your
of the
eggs,
day,
yeah.
because like that week of, we call it show week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is like the most stressful week as a
Right, that's
promoter
crunch
that you
time.
will go through.
No,
Like,
I-
everything that could possibly go wrong. You'll have people call up and cancel on you at the
That's all
last
true.
minute. Yeah.
No, if I could tell you how many events I have put together in my life, I couldn't count how many events I've put together, and that is exactly right. The week of the event is always the hardest. It's always the longest. It's always the most stressful.
Right.
Build up.
Usually, if you have planned the event, at the end of the event, you're just glad it's done.
Right. Right.
You're just like, no matter how much fun this was, I'm just glad it's over.
Yep.
Because it is a lot to contend with. So kudos to you for being able to manage all of that and do that. But
Well, and I got to give kudos to my team. I mean, Keith Daniels and Mike Dampier. You know, we've all known each other. We're all co-owners together, and like, it's a great team, and it's a great feeling to know that, you know, if there's ever something that I'm just too busy on, or I got to drop the ball and say, hey, can you pick up this slack
Right,
for me?
right.
My guys are right there able to help. You know, and, vice
and
versa.
that is great. But I was not shocked at all to hear that people were already wanting to get it
yeah.
set up, because I think you're going to kill it there. I think
so.
it's such a great location to do it.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So Dakota commented. He said, "Love the phone prank y'all did."
Oh, thanks, man.
He said, "I think it's time to do drive-through pranks. Call it the Rich and Angry Patrick Drive-Through Prank Show."
Yeah, we could do that too. I think
Drive-through pranks. are
I think we want to go in person somewhere where he can announce me coming in the door, and then announce as we go through.
Right.
You know, like commentating me grocery shopping. Will he choose the peas?
So I did. Joel said. He said, "Cersei right this time." I was like, "Yeah, I did." I said, "Cersei."
Yeah, he's learned. I had
Getting better
to.
in practice.
We had to break him at the Circe.
Yeah.
It's like the GPS. If I could just break her of Canis
Or Rodney Parham.
Rodney
Yeah,
Parham.
Rodney Parham,
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. I mean, just get it right. would
Brandon
you?
asked if PATP can be a sponsor. Y'all are actually, we've got you listed on all of the promotional
Well, of course,
material
we're a
going.
sponsor. We're the promotional arm of it, baby.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we are a sponsor.
Little
Let me
Doggy
ask-
says rock shows are no different. He was stressed out every show.
Yeah, no, and he's another person I know who has put together a very large amount of shows. Mike, Little Doggy in the day, was one of the most prolific promoters in Central Arkansas. He had bands performing all over Central Arkansas. He was very, very good at it, and that was even mostly pre-internet.
I mean, and
Right.
I'll go out on a limb here and admit, like, the excitement, the stress, the everything that comes with being an event promoter, it is almost a little bit like a drug. You do get addicted. Like, know it's going to be stressful, but
Yeah.
then to
That's
see
what
it
I
all
was-
come together in the end
I was
and
about
go
to say, that's
off.
what I was gonna ask. As stressful as behind the scenes and all that is, it's got to be part of your favorite part
Oh,
because you get to see it all culminate and come together, and you're like, hell yeah, dude, I did
Absolutely.
this shit. Like,
Spot on. No, there is a pure joy if it's successful.
Yeah, if it's successful.
When there's a pure terrible feeling when it's not.
right.
When you put in all that effort and 18 people show up and you're like, God.
Yeah.
Now you can't let them know that,
Right.
but that's how you feel. But most of the time, if you're doing it right, it is a great feeling.
It is.
I know for a fact that, I was only ancillary involved in setting up the Ark and Brawl here, but
Yeah.
even for the part that I was involved in, I felt invested, and so seeing it be not just a success but a runaway success
Absolutely.
was the coolest thing in the world. Just looking at people just steadily rolling in, you're like,
Yeah.
more,
right,
more,
they're still
more.
going, yeah.
Glad there's no fire marshal here because I'm sure we just violated something. Yeah.
But really, like that, to that point, that is the best feeling, and especially like branching off of that for people like yourself, Bundy, that came in, and to me, when somebody new comes into one of these independent wrestling promotions, whether it's Vapors, whether it's TNR Championship
right.
Wrestling,
Yeah.
Wrestling with Pride, to hear them come in and say, I've never been to a wrestling event before. I decided to come check it out. This is the most entertaining thing. I cannot wait to be back.
Yep.
Like, oh, dude.
Hell yeah.
That isn't to know that you put on that event,
Yeah.
you gave that feeling, and
Yeah.
like
That's it. That's it right
a
there.
Huge boost.
No, that's why comedy is so great. Number one, you get some instant reaction. But number two, when someone comes up to you after and says, "Man, that was amazing," it's a great feeling to know you put on a good event, that you did your homework, you did your prep work, you did everything the way to make it successful.
Right.
And it's funny that you do all that behind the scenes work and you hustle and you grind and you get all, and it's usually for a singular moment like that.
Yes.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
someone expresses their appreciation for it. You're like, yep, that's what I did it all for.
Yeah,
Just for that
there,
one. Yep,
dude,
right there. Like,
And the money didn't hurt.
yeah.
If there's money attached to it. Yeah, which you hope there will be. Yeah, that's for sure. But you've been doing promoting a while now, Rich.
Well, yes and no. I mean, we've been doing it for about we're just over a year of being,
Is
an
it just
actual
a year?
promotion. Yeah, it was just when we March, when we did our March event here.
Yeah.
That was our 1 year anniversary.
Really?
Yeah.
It's amazing, not just you, but all of these independent wrestling divisions. But as I'm, most closely affiliated with what you're doing,
Right.
It's been amazing. Just I didn't even realize it was that young because it's such a fervent base.
Right.
Right.
But that tells me
Seems like a seasoned.
what it tells me is exactly what I thought, which is people are hungry for entertainment like that. That's not the norm.
Right.
Because how many times can you go out to Texas Roadhouse? No diss, but yeah.
Their rolls are
so
good.
I can only have so many times where I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just fat. I'm not entertained.
And if you really want to, we can always do, like a Texas Roadhouse rolls match or something,
Yeah, no, I'm not in need of that, but you could
Maybe
hand
you won't
out
hurt your
rolls.
ribs so
It'd
bad.
be funny. We'll just hand out rolls.
And dude, what I like about Vapors specifically, since being a part of this team and everything, is just I've got a deeper appreciation. I've always been a wrestling fan, but just a deeper appreciation for the whole show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you will watch some stuff where it's like, oh man, this is just like hokey bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? These aren't people who've put in time and dedicated.
Right.
When I watch the guys out here at Ark and Brawl, that was my favorite part, is seeing the behind the scenes. And it's like, oh, these guys are artists. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
No,
these guys are artists.
There's a canvas, it's a ring, and then they paint that canvas.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you that every artist who's painting that canvas, right, has a different art they bring to it.
Right.
Because Ray Ivy, for example, and Insane Shane, they're gymnastic, they're acrobatic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're jumping, they're
As
flipping.
hell,
They're the
man.
ones
They
that
do
did
some
the
amazing stuff.
yeah, they did the scaffold match.
Yep.
And they're doing flips, they're doing this, they're doing that. I mean, it's that wild Rey Mysterio or Jimmy Superfly Snuka stuff, you know. And then you got the other side where you got the personas and you got the brawlers and the bruisers, and everybody's bringing something different with their brush to the canvas. And
see all of it come together.
yeah,
It's
to
like,
see it all come together, it is a really cool circle to watch.
Shout out to Little Doggy. He said promoting is one of the biggest reasons he's a fan of mine. And then he said that, you know, I have it, whatever it is. And thank you for that.
Yeah,
you know, because
hell yeah.
I don't think of myself as that way. You know, I'm not
right.
like God's gift to promoting over here or anything. But
But
no,
you're a hustler, dude.
But you are a promoter. You know, you're promoting your passion, though,
Right.
and it shows through. Brandon Goodwin. So we need a stand-up comedy show, Patrick. Laura headlines. Yes, no, I understand. Laura.
I still want to work on that one idea we talked about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
We've gone back and forth on who headlines over the years, and in later years, I've often put Laura as the headliner because as much as I do love my stand-up. I'm passionate about it. I love doing stand-up, and I feel like I'm a really good writer. But there is a magic she has on the stage that is just different. It hits different. It slaps. However you want to say the shit, it does. And I don't know what it is. The je ne sais quoi, if you will. It's a combination of authenticity, outrageously bold and shocking things, and earnest, good human.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of those three combined somehow all come through. Now, everybody women love her.
Right.
Everybody loves her. Women, like they will, after a show, they'll come up to her like she was, you know, just did a TED talk.
Right.
You know, on empowerment or some shit. I mean, they're ready to get at it.
Right.
They're ready to go home, beat their man's ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going home. There's going to be domestic. I'm whipping your ass tonight, you know? I mean, they get fired up, man.
Dude, and I give it to, I feel like stand-up comedy is just in general harder for women. You know,
Oh,
I feel like it's a little more
absolutely.
pressure, a little more,
Absolutely.
I don't know what you call it. You know, people have a lot more opinions about a woman doing it.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say that Laura nixes all that. Like, you know what I mean? She's up there. And
No, she's transcendent of
yes,
that.
yes. Like, you never have that thought.
No.
I've gotten to watch her a few times.
Yeah.
You know, so.
No, and I've seen exactly what you're saying, and I told this story once, but I had a lady, her name was Josie D, and Josie was one of the guests on a comedy tour for a couple years, and she was 75 at the time, I think. And so the fact that she was doing stand-up at that age was amazing.
Yeah.
But she was also tawdry as hell. You know, she was a dirty grandma.
Right.
And she was great.
Right.
And I booked this place in Hot Springs with comedy, and I'd had a guy down the week before who was just as tawdry, but when I had her, the owner called me. He was mad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it was a woman saying those things.
Right,
And I'm like, well, man, you know, you're a little late to the party, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
That
get
kind of
over
stuff has sailed, you know. But there is a stigma. But Laura will tell you, at least she would say, look, there aren't a lot of funny ladies out there.
Right.
You know, she said, honestly, I'm not saying there's not, but not on TV or whatnot. We have a handful, but I do think that I don't think gender is nearly as relevant when she's up on stage.
Not at all.
Not in the same way. You know, she just has such a strength about her, you know, a presence about her that's gone.
Right,
You know,
right.
she's not doing the typical girl stuff that.
Yeah,
And I don't mean that negatively, but a lot of girls rely on a lot of tropes and stereotype bits
Right.
about, guys, shitting on them or
Right.
different things like that. And,
Right.
Well, I
and
feel
Laura's
like-
the shitter, not the shit on.
I feel like two of the biggest comedians, and I like them both. I know a lot of people don't like Amy Schumer, but like two of the biggest female comedians, Amy Schumer and Nikki Glaser.
Yeah.
I like them both, but it seems like their big punchlines just really have to do with sex most
Yeah.
of the time. And
Yeah,
that,
no, that's
that
true.
seems like,
It
It's the
reminds me
lowest
of
lying
Sarah
fruit.
Silverman.
yes, and you don't see that from Laura. I don't
No.
remember any of her stand-up where she
She's never done
got
anything.
vulgar
No.
about sex
No.
or, talk about sleeping around a lot. And
No.
it's like, I don't mind that kind of comedy. It's just good to see a female
Do
who's
something
still
different.
hilarious and doesn't
Yeah.
talk about sex.
No,
all the time.
she does what a lot of people do, which is talk about everyday things that we all deal with, just in a much more dramatically real way.
Yeah.
What's up, Jay? I see you, buddy.
Dad's After Dark say what's up. too.
What's up,
y'all?
DAD? Yeah, no, it's she is just hilarious. She's amazing at what she does, and we've been having conversations about maybe her, working the Austin scene because everything's happening in Austin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like maybe go down there for a few months and work the scene and see what you can do because
Oh, dude, she
she
would
could
kill it.
break through.
Oh, yeah.
She would
She
kill
really
it down
could
there.
break through, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
if she got one spotlight,
Right.
it'd be on like Donkey Kong.
Right.
I'll tell you the truth. She would just kill the game.
Well, and I only bring this up because I think y'all talked about it last week, but there was the show with the boxing ring.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, she wasn't happy with her performance.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, she put on a free show at
Yeah.
Khalil's that very
Yeah.
next week. How many comedians do you know that are like, I'm not happy with my performance. I feel like I kind of robbed the audience. Let's
Yeah.
go have a show here, and it's going to be free for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
and I just thought that was like, because most people would just crawl in a hole and not. She came back out with the confidence and
Yeah.
like, dude, I just love that. That's
No, Khalil's is where she ran a 2-hour set. She took two pee breaks.
Yeah, dude, I was there that time.
I've never in my life seen a comedian leave the stage, go pee, come back and perform, and
everybody just-
I was mad for an hour.
Right.
Like, because I'm like, you're fatiguing them, you're killing them. They're going to want to go, but they didn't.
No, she-
when she asked them,
Yeah, she
can I go
asked.
take a pee break? Do y'all want me to come back? Yeah, and it was not like small, yeah, big, yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours, two
That's
damn
awesome.
hours straight performing, and that's insanity.
Right.
When you see they did not want it. It was like a marathon. They didn't
I
want
was
to
about to
end.
say, if I remember correctly, that 2 hours, I feel like she could have went for 2 more.
She
Like,
could have.
The crowd would have.
No, they would have
let her
stayed. They
stay.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
left for anything.
Everybody was having a ball then.
And that's what I have to say. There's just some connection point that people just they know this. Look, she's real in
Right.
what she's saying. She may say it a funny way,
Right.
Right.
but she's real.
Right.
She's not dropping things that aren't real. She's telling you exactly
Yeah.
how she thinks.
Yeah.
Which is why people go, yeah, I get why you're angry sometimes. Yeah, no, no, she does. There's no sugarcoating with
Right.
Laura. Laura doesn't use sugarcoating. She's going to give it to you.
Well, and I think that's why she hits with females so good, because females are naturally softer spoken, not spoken out so much. That's not Laura Beam. Like,
No,
she's gonna
hell
say-
no, it ain't.
Like, she's gonna say exactly what she thinks, and it's probably shit you've thought, you just don't say.
Yeah, no,
So
it's all
that's
true.
why she hits so well.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. People love it. Well, I tell you what, we love you guys. We're so thankful for you every single day that
Yeah,
you're
of
sharing this.
course.
A couple things I want to mention. Number one, YouTube. Please, 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 please follow us on YouTube. Just go click that like and follow button on YouTube, man. We really need you to do that. Number two is the Blox is coming up, and it's coming up fast on us, and we need just a little bit more to cover the expenses. If you guys could go to that GoFundMe, you see it in the bottom right corner of the screen. It'd be a huge help. I don't care if you give $1, if you give $5, if you can give us $7, anything will help. Yeah, I'd love to have somebody drop, 200, 500, $1,000, something. That'd be spectacular. We can wrap it up in one punch. But if not, I'm going to need you guys to help us so we can do this because it's going to be huge.
I was
mean,
about to say, if something pops off out of the blocks, I think it'd be cool to be a part of that as a contributor. You're like,
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
oh, man, I donated $5. I helped get them there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm part of this with them. You know what I mean?
And I think, and that's what I swear to God, y'all, listen, where Laura is, and I love my stand up, but where Laura is to comedy, I am to relationships. And what I mean by that is when I get there, if you get me around these people, I'm going to connect with one of them. I guarantee you.
Right.
And it's going to be, it's going to help us so much make this better.
Absolutely.
You know, because I'm going to get in there and I'll make inroads with
Yeah, you
people.
gotta do
You
your
know,
thing.
I got business
Well,
I
and
can do.
That's the whole point of going on the blocks. Is
Yeah.
like it's not just to be on reality. It's not to get your name out there. It's to go there and learn and study and,
Yeah.
and
Make
you're going
connections,
there
yeah.
with the mindset of how can I get
How
the
can-
podcast better.
Yeah, how can we make this a giant win? How can
Right.
we go from what we're doing now to everybody talking about us? How can we be the next Rogan, the next Kill Tony, whatever you want to
Right,
call it?
right.
What do we have to do in our house to make that happen?
Absolutely.
And that's what these folks will help us brainstorm, come up with all the things we need, think in ways that we're too close to it to think about.
Yeah, exactly. You
And-
get the
and-
outsider's perspective.
Yeah, and but not just any outsider. These are entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 CEOs and marketing directors of places like Disney or
Yeah,
whatever. I
they've
mean, these
been in
are
the weeds on shit.
yeah, these are superstars.
They
that-
know the path. We just need the map.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And they'll help you find that map that fits you. If you can help us with that, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Also, if you need help with electrical work, Bundy
Yeah.
Electric, and now the new Summit Services, which is electrical, plumbing, and HVAC.
Yes, sir. Hit us
Dustyn's your guy. If you need help announcing something, hey, maybe even yourself.
I can
Rich
say.
Rockwell can do it. You go see Rich, get with him, and make sure you get out to the events and support Rich and all the work that they're doing in the community. Because
Absolutely.
when you think about that event, a large-scale event like the wrestling one, how many of those people are local people that you're helping and supporting? I mean, yes, you can give your money to the WWE, and that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. You can give money to them, and you know what? And I'm sure they do appreciate it in their own way. But
Yeah, they
they're,
go
they,
out by
whether you go or not, the WWE's still going.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
When you come in and you support someone like VCW, you're making a tangible, real difference right here and now.
Absolutely.
And that's dope as hell.
You've
So
become
do
a
that.
Speaking about
integral
helping
part of
people out, the event this Saturday out at the Carmichael Center in Searcy. Tickets are $10. They go down to $5 if you bring 3 donated items. Underwear, socks. Shelf food.
Clean, preferably.
Clean. But
Please don't bring your dirty
to
underwear
help
or
out the
socks.
less fortunate. So save
Yes.
yourself some money, help out the less fortunate.
That's awesome.
Enjoy the event. Come check it out, man. It's
That
gonna
is
be a
awesome.
good time.
That is awesome. All right, and as always, you guys know I'm a real estate agent. If you need to buy or sell a house, I promise I'm going to take care of you. Just helped a couple this very week get into a home for $2,000. So they moved into their new home. They spent $2,000 to get in it. Come on, man. Let me help you out
And
too.
that's not we've talked about. That's not the first time that
No,
you've been able to do
no.
that.
The last time was $500.
Yeah.
$500. So yeah, it's real, and I can help you. And just give me a call. Matter of fact, you know who I'm helping right now? Our resident Bigfoot hunter.
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Yeah. About to help him out. Yeah, sure am. And matter of fact, maybe even Gunner. We were talking last night, working on something. Yeah. So come on, guys, bring it to me. Let me help you out. I'd love to. We're out.
Later, everybody.